This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
The Oklahoma Sports Network, Mid-Dell basketball at J. Sutton Fieldhouse, Midwest City High School, Midwest City, Oklahoma. It's Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray bringing you District 5A2 basketball as Lawton Macarthur has traveled to Midwest City tonight to take on the Bombers. The Highlanders versus the Bombers. This is a 1 versus 2 girls matchup that's about to tip off in a minute.
That's right. Lawton Macarthur has only 1 loss in district. That was a month ago at home against Midwest City. They lost by 13. They have an outside shot at catching Midwest City for the top seed, but very unlikely. However, both teams will be a little short of players tonight, and so we'll see. Anything can happen, as they say, as we saw yesterday, of course, in that wild Crowber game. But this is the marquee game as far as district standings go. One thing we do expect is both teams will host when regional starts, so both teams are in good shape there. And Lawton Macarthur has an interesting background to them. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes as far as what they're going through right now. So it'll be an interesting matchup to be sure.
Anything else exciting or interesting happening in that district that you're aware of?
No, I really don't. I would say no. I think most of the high seedings are taken care of. Del City's going to be a 3. And then from there, probably Guyman will be a 4 seed. And after that, we'll see where these other teams land, but they're kind of all the same and or very similar as far as what you can expect from them. So, no, not much. This is where the action's at.
And same thing on the boys' side. It's pretty wrapped up at the top, right?
More wrapped up. We'll talk about that when we get to the boys' side.
Absolutely. Are we ready to?
Yes. So coming up, my interview with Coach Megan Knight.
Yeah, you got to spend some time with her this week. So we're going to go hear from Coach Megan Knight.
Yep. When we come back right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Happy to be joined now by Coach Knight of the Midwest City girls team. And Coach, talk about, we saw your performance against Del City last week, so you played 2 games since then against Guyman. One of them was unusually low scoring, and we talked a little bit about that before we recorded. So talk about the trip and how that went, and then what you liked from your team, and then maybe some things you need to work on heading into tonight's game.
It was a good trip. We had, a 5-hour drive. We were able to kind of bond, especially with the boys. We all rode in one bus down there, so it was a good trip. We got down there. Guyman, it was a little closer, low-scoring game. They had a coaching tactic of stalling the ball a little bit, which was very new for us. Not a lot of people do that for us. So we were able to adjust, especially this game at home, making sure that we do not allow anyone to stall the ball against us. So we got up, really pressured it. We communicated on that on Wednesday of what we were going to do going into that game. Just kind of not really to prove anything to anybody but ourselves, to get us back going. So that's exactly what we did, and played more of our style of basketball and didn't let Guyman control the tempo.
So when you have a long trip like that on Tuesday, and then you got 3 games in 4 days, I know that's going to kind of mirror what the state tournament might be like, but how would you say your team is holding up as far as fatigue goes? Is it not just physical fatigue, but maybe mental fatigue?
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job. We played in some tough tournaments that we had a bunch, especially, our last one with Moore, playing Bixby, Choctaw, then Moore, going through that, our body was sore, especially that 5-hour trip there and back. They definitely were sore that next day and just mentally tired. So they did a good job of bouncing back, and they understand what tonight, holds. We've got to come out and compete. We can't just go out there. The number 1 seed's just not handed to us. So they're aware of that. We've talked about that, and that's our goal at the end of the year, is to be that number 1 seed and be undefeated in our districts. So the girls are prepared. They understand that they can't be tired tonight because Lott Macarthur is a good team, and so they're ready for whatever tonight brings.
And in order for Lott Macarthur to catch you, I believe they would have to beat you by 14 or more.
Yes.
Is that something that you're even going to mention to your team? The scenarios where because it otherwise looks like you have the 1 seed wrapped up, but still you have to be aware of what could happen.
Yes, we've already communicated with that on Wednesday, of how big beating Diamond was, and then moving on to Lott Macarthur. They're aware after the game last night that we had one more game that we're really worried about, of continuing to have that number 1 seed, that if we allow them to beat us by 14, then that number 1 seed that we've worked so hard for is gone. So they already know that. They know what's at stake, and I hope that keeps them fired up, ready to go.
And so you'll be without Marquia Pratt, who I see as your best perimeter scorer.
Yes.
What needs to go well for the other players? Who would you like to see really step their game up in her absence?
I think Celia Landon has done a good job. Me and her kind of sat down, talked about, what are some expectations that we need from her to help us continue on the right path. And we talked about getting on the glass, and she's done a good job against Guyman. The first time she had 9.7 rebounds. Last night she had 12 points, 8 rebounds. And so she's kind of really stepping up, taking that role, seeing some numbers that, we saw last year from her, which is really good since her injury. And so hopefully tonight, it's being senior night, seeing her just step up on that offensive end, and she's doing a great job on the glass. So if she just continues that, I think that will be something pretty.
All right, you mentioned senior night. You got Deanna Douglas, and then you got Sierra, who came in last year, moved from Enid. And then you got a couple girls in Gaddis and Landon who have had to recover from knee injuries. So some interesting storylines there. What can you say about this particular senior group?
I mean, they're my first little babies, the first, especially Gaddis and Douglas being my first freshmen that have been here with me, brand new to the program. And I was brand new to the program, and they've just bought in, stuck out 4 years. Gaddis having an injury and just sticking through that, not always being the best, scenario. And she's just stuck through it and believed in it and bought in. And she's had a great senior year. And then Celia and Sierra they are completely bought in. When they came in, they meant business. They completely changed our game, and they're doing a great job their senior year too. So, we're excited to celebrate them. Definitely kind of emotional about them leaving us. They're great for our program. They're great for our high school, great kids even off the court. And so, it's exciting to celebrate them. Thankfully, our season's not over yet. They've done a great job. And so, it's going to be a great night for them.
One last thing about Lott Macarthur, without going into detail, they are shorthanded. So because of that, does that affect how aggressive you might play defensively?
No, we're going to just continue doing us. That's kind of what we do no matter who we're playing. We do us. If we have to adjust, we will. We're going to be 90 feet pressure, doing our thing, and hopefully scoring a bunch of layups in transition like we've been doing so that we can continue scoring in the high numbers. But we're definitely, we're prepared. I don't care if Lawton Mac's shorthanded, they're still a solid team, and those girls understand that. So I know that they're going to come put up a fight no matter what. That's what they do. And so hopefully, we take care of business early, and it's a good game for us.
All right, we hope it's a good game for you too. Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome back to Middale and Lawton Macarthur basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're going to have the national anthem for you. That's the voice you're hearing of Kenton Hillenbrand, the PA announcer for Midwest City. And then the starting lineups will be after that.
And now our starting lineups for tonight's game between the Macarthur Highlanders and your Midwest City Bombers. Starters for the Highlanders. Number 5, Kayla Brown. Number 10, Mia Hughes. Number 11, Mia Curtis. Number 15, Layla Mosby. And number 21, Lennox Stevenson.
Right down the roster.
And for your Midwest City Bombers, 0, Sierra Martin. 2, Celia Landon. Number 13, 7, Miller. Number 23, Sanaya Gaddis. And number 45, Deanna Douglas.
All right. Appreciate the starting lineups being brought to you by Dynamic Health Clinic. Let's take one more look at them. And one interesting thing about these starters is that you will see the 4 seniors for Midwest City being honored, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's the sophomore who's starting, 7 Miller, who plays a big game for him. I wouldn't be surprised if she's guarding Alyssa Mack a lot of Lawton Macarthur. She's the Macarthur player, is an outstanding scorer. All right, Tracy, what about the starting lineup sponsor?
So Dynamic Health, our sponsor for our starting lineups at Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. So some big achievements by Deanna Douglas here in this season so far, as she has put up some big statistics for her career. Topping the 600 rebound, 1,000-point mark, both of those significant achievements for a player. We are about ready to tip off. We want to welcome our Lawton Macarthur fans who are watching from down in the southwest corner of the state. Opening tip off the hands of Midwest City, picked up by number 10, Mia Hughes, and Lawton Mack has the ball to begin the game. Off the leg of Alyssa Mack. The ball goes out of bounds.
So Alyssa Mack played really well against Del City on Tuesday. Of course, she usually had a smaller player on her. So Midwest City starts 6-foot Sierra Martin on Mack, and that's going to be a harder player for her to shoot over.
So Midwest City with the ball now. Long two shot from the right corner. Saved. Not the kind of play you want to see, a defender trying to throw it back in and save it under the other team's basket, but it plays out for Mack here, and Macarthur has the ball, setting up their offense. Some full half-court, high-pressure defense right now by Midwest City.
Nothing out of the ordinary there.
Celia doing a great job, Celia Landon. There's a pull-up from the left elbow off the glass, good for two.
Mia Hughes, only a freshman, kind of thrust into the lineup for Lawton Macarthur because they're without some players right now. She played also real well against Del City.
Three fired up by Seven Miller, no good from the right wing. Now inside, off the glass, no good by Celia Landon, and we're going to have a foul called. That will put
Sierra Martin will head to the free throw line.
Sierra Martin at the line. The foul called on number 10, Mia Hughes. That is the first foul of the basketball game.
And the game we did yesterday, I thought a big part of the early game in the girls' side was the 2-3 zone played by the undermanned Crossings team. Was not in great defensive rebounding position. Lawton Macarthur starting out in zone. I think they're going to play a lot of zone because they don't have but 7 players, I believe, suiting up. They need to rebound well against Midwest City, who, thanks to not just Deanna Douglas, but other players, is a great offensive rebounding team.
And those free throws, both of them hit by Sierra Martin. Free throws brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses. Good defense by Landon. Ball saved, kick back in. It is a shot put up by Josiah Habel. Excuse me, I apologize, Mia Curtis. Looking at the wrong roster there. And a scramble for a ball. Douglas comes up with it. She kicks the ball out to Gaddis. Gaddis pushes it down the court in a hurry, pulls up from about 15 feet out. Shot no good. Martin comes up with the loose ball, puts the shot up. It bounces around the rim, falls out. Rebound by Curtis, and Lawton Mack bringing the ball back down the court. Tied 2-2 with 6 minutes to play in the first period.
Ugly shot. Tried to draw a foul there on Douglas. She might have a case, too. What a pass.
That looked like a quarterback to a receiver. We've got the Super Subs replay going here. Super Subs has chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe buffalo or barbecue chicken.
That was just an outstanding and accurate outlet pass by Douglas because she had to throw it right over the Lawton Mack player and thread the needle. You know she's a state champion shot putter. Not quite the same thing, but, you know, she definitely has an arm to her.
She might need to try out for quarterback.
Yeah. Hey, they're looking for a new one.
Sierra Martin from the corner for 3. It's a little short, and the rebound goes off the hands of Gaddis out of bounds. Oh, excuse me, Miller.
Well, she was short on that, and she didn't have to be if she stood a little close to the three-point line. She was near the sideline instead when Sierra Martin shot that 3. Doesn't need to be that far back.
Hughes inbounds the ball. Full court pressure by Midwest City. Hughes gets the ball down the court in a hurry. She's attacking the basket, loses her dribble, picked up by Landon. And here come the Bombers. Another pass down the court. And Gaddis finds herself run over under the basket.
You got to watch fouls here. That one thing that Del City could have done better in their Tuesday game against Macarthur is try to get more fouls because Macarthur, and they did get Thompson in foul trouble, who's got the foul right there, because, again, Macarthur has very few players available to him on the bench. 2
fouls now on Macarthur. Seven Miller works her way in the paint and goes up, and she puts the ball in the hole. 6-2 the score now, Midwest City leading Macarthur.
Now, Seven Miller is one of those players that she can give you what you need in a lot of different ways, and including scoring by attacking the basket.
Kalea Brown handling the ball, finally passes off to Curtis. Now a three from the left wing, off the front of the rim, out of bounds. It'll be Midwest City basketball.
It's worth mentioning, of course, Lawton MacArthur without their best guard, Janiyah Fisher. And so taking that responsibility is only a freshman, Kalea Brown. I thought she played well against Del City again on Tuesday because that's the game I was at, so I saw a lot of what they were able to do. But, again, a lot of pressure for her going against Midwest City.
Miller pass down the baseline. Martin can't convert. MacArthur comes up with it, kind of playing hot potato with the ball coming down the court. Another three from the left wing, long back iron, rebound goes to Gaddis. She fires it down the court to Landon. Landon's going to pull up. Now driving the baseline right to the hole,
nice
sidesteps the defender.
And the way she hesitated there kind of got the MacArthur players into a bit of a lull. And she's now starting because of Marquia Pratt's out. Plus it's senior night, and Celia Landon off to a really good start. Another versatile guard for her. Clearly there it's a foul on Martin. If you're going to reach around to go for the steal, you got to make sure your other arm is not wrapped around the player.
First foul on Midwest City.
And some of this is just a different opponent, but Alyssa Mack for Lawton MacArthur, she has had really good games against Del City, but in the Midwest City game in January, she did not really try to assert herself much. We'll see if that changes in this rematch. There it is. There's a good shot.
Mack shoots from the left elbow. Doesn't get the ball in the hole. There's a shot blocked as Mia Hughes went up. Rebound goes to Midwest City, and a foul is called on Curtis.
So that was a good shot by Mack, but she still had to fade away because she's being guarded by a player that's even a little taller than her in Sierra Martin. Meanwhile, another problem that MacArthur had, even though they beat Del City, which was a good win for them given that they're shorthanded, is that the three-point shot for them has just not been there. They have to hit threes if they wanted to stay with Midwest City.
C.D. Johnson is in the game now as well. There's a three. It is a Bobby Lewis insurance three from the top of the key by Celia Landon. She has 5 points in the game, and it's a 9-point lead for Midwest City, 11-2.
So happy for Celia Landon. She's been through some stuff since she last played last season, the knee injury and a couple other things. And she hasn't gotten to start much because of the injury from last offseason. But now that Marquia Pratt's out for tonight, and she's going to be fine, by the way, because they definitely need Marquia Pratt in the playoffs. But Landon will have a chance to get extended minutes, and I think, as she's shown early on, she's going to take advantage of it.
Alyssa Mack drives in. Sierra Martin picks up her second personal foul and second team foul. Alyssa Mack shooting free throws, misses the first one. Free throws brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses. And this is our first period, sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings to support your favorite Mid-Del winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone, show your waiter, and your team will get 10% of the proceeds. Missed shot by Midwest City. MacArthur coming right down the court, high off the glass, shot no good. Gaddis gets the rebound, gives it to Douglas. Douglas pushing it up the court. She heads to the sideline. Landon in the corner for three. Boom! Wow. There's another Bobby Lewis insurance three. Bobby Lewis has surprisingly great rates with two locations to serve you, one in Choctaw, one in Del City. You call him in Choctaw at 405-281-6700.
I want to mention something that Deanna Douglas did there to help set up that three. You know, she gets the outlet pass, but she's a post player. She's a center. So what she does when she brings the ball up the court, the closer you are to the middle, the more likely a quicker guard's going to try to knock the ball from behind you. So she moved to the sideline, and that's when she found Landon for that open three. So she protected the ball well there by doing that.
You know, as she passed it off to Landon, too, she cuts into the paint, and that drew some of the defenders away from Landon a bit as well. So just a really good setup all the way around.
And the players are expecting that from Midwest City, too.
14-2 the score with 2.5 minutes to play in the first period. Bombers have the ball. Gaddis bringing it up the court. MacArthur sitting back in his own defense now. Johnson passes off to Gaddis. Johnson at the top of the key, looking inside. Back to Gaddis for three from the left wing. That one's a little long. Matt gets the rebound. Pushing the ball up the court. Off the feet of Johnson, and we'll have a kicking the ball call.
Now this is when Alyssa Mack from MacArthur's got to try to take over. She's now, Martin's out with foul trouble. She's got a smaller player on her. She's got to try to create.
And a loose ball picked up by Landon. Good defense by Landon on the inbound play. Gives it to Gaddis. Gaddis goes to the hole, draws the foul, and Hughes is going to pick up her second personal, fourth team foul now on Macarthur.
So Sanaya Gaddis is another player that's had to overcome injuries for Midwest City and now has had a full and hopefully continues to be a healthy senior season. But she, unlike Landon, she had to miss an entire season with a knee injury. That was last year. She's looking really good right now. She's, of course, more recovered and has had a good season for him at point guard, which was kind of a new position to her.
Free throws brought to you by Tooney Buys Houses. They buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know need to sell a home for any reason, call Tooney Buys Houses today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Right to the hole, Gaddis drives in, and she gets 2 points. Super subs replay. And Douglas fighting hard down the court. Tries to save the ball, but she steps on the baseline as she jumps into the air. So it'll be Macarthur ball, and we have a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, you know what? This is senior night, of course, in Midwest City. We hope to recognize the seniors between the girls and the boys game. You know, in the past, we didn't have districts for basketball. And by the time you had senior night, you know, you weren't jostling for seeding anymore because the playoffs brackets came out like 2 weeks early. So you had these last 3 or 4 games that didn't mean a whole lot as far as stakes go, but that didn't matter. The team still played hard. They still wanted to win, even though they already knew where they were going to go play at. And here for Midwest City, they haven't clinched the 1 seed yet, but I think a bigger thing for them is going to be that it's senior night. Not the last home game, of course. They're going to have home games for district, but still, it's the night they're going to be honored. And so far, the seniors have played really well for Midwest City, all 4 of them.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. And you're seeing Celia Landon right now is just playing a phenomenal game early. Yeah. 16-2 the score with 1:45 to play in the first period. Inbound pass goes to Alyssa Mack. Miller on defense, out top. Screen set. Mack goes off screen. And the travel is called.
There's the deal. She has the size against Seven Miller. She does not have the speed. Seven Miller is a very active player. Still a matchup she needs to attack, but Mack has to be crafty going against Seven Miller. Seven will not give an inch to her.
Gaddis brings the ball up the court, passes off to Landon now. Miller kicks it back to Johnson, top of the key. Looking inside, and Douglas just was driving the baseline toward the basket, out of position. Johnson throws the ball behind her. Douglas hits the court pretty hard.
Yeah, I think Douglas had to change positions real quickly. Seeing the ball was thrown behind her, I'm glad she's not hurt. We'll just chalk that up to a young sophomore mistake by C.D. Johnson.
Brown pushing the ball up the court from Macarthur. Again, screen set by Lennox Stevenson, and ball goes out of bounds, signaled off of Macarthur. Super subs instant replay.
You know, Brown, I give her credit for making that drive on Douglas, but there's just too much of height advantage. Douglas doesn't have to even jump to swat that ball down.
Inbound play goes into Curtis. She puts the shot up. No good. Ball goes out of bounds off the rebound. Midwest City basketball.
Now, Mia Curtis hit the game-winning free throws against Dell City with less than 5 seconds to go. And it's hard to believe that, that she is, well, I guess she's a junior. I thought for a second she was a freshman, but she made a really good move there. She can score, but unfortunately for a lot of Macarthur right now, they are cold.
Yeah, they got that first bucket courtesy of Mia Hughes. Deanna Douglas gets 2 off the low post.
It's her first basket, but Douglas has had a really good quarter. You can see she's doing things for this team without scoring.
Guys, Douglas has 4 points in the ball game.
4 points, okay.
But
just one of them.
You know, Macarthur hits that very first bucket to score early in the game, and now it's 18 unanswered points by Midwest City. The defense by Midwest City has been pretty phenomenal, but there's been some open looks that Macarthur has missed as well.
Yeah, I think Macarthur, part of it is they don't have the same confidence. Maybe it's against Midwest City, maybe it's on the road, but they don't have the same confidence against them that they do against Dell City, which makes sense as you see a travel there. But the players who scored well for a lot of Macarthur, and a lot of it came from forcing steals against Dell City, but again, Alyssa Mack and the Mias, both of them, Curtis and Hughes, had really good games, and now they can't get a footing right now in this game.
Well, you know, we mentioned already that Pratt's out tonight for Midwest City, and we mentioned that Macarthur was a little shorthanded. Well, they're missing 2 starters.
Yes.
And that can sure change the dynamic and the confidence and all of that, right?
Yes.
Long 3 put up, and no good. Douglas gets the rebound. Landon drives in, kicks the ball back out. Knox puts up the shot in the paint. Good for 2. That was a great move.
Yeah, you know, she's going to have an opportunity, Chloe Knox, to play some valuable minutes for this team tonight without Marquia Pratt, and good shot there.
Alyssa Mack fires one off the top of the backboard at the buzzer. 20-2 the score after 1 period of play. That first period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. And we're going to take a break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Middale Basketball, J. Sutton Fieldhouse, Midwest City High School. The Midwest City Lady Bombers leading the Lady Highlanders from Macarthur 20-2 after 1 period of play. Macarthur come out, hit the first bucket courtesy Mia Hughes. Have not scored since then. It's been 20 unanswered points by Midwest City. Our second period brought to you by Casa Juanito. Casa Juanito is a quick service restaurant offering fresh and flavorful fiesta meals in Del City, Oklahoma since 1976. Located at 4718 Southeast 29th Street in Del City, just east of Sooner Road. Missed shot by Midwest City to start the second period. Rebound by Macarthur right down the court, and Courtney Thompson gets called for the travel under the basket.
So Celia Landon missed the 3 there, but she's the one who got back on defense and forced that travel. Good job of maintaining your discipline even after you're disappointed with a missed shot there.
Landon skip pass in the corner to Knox. Knox saves it. Knox for 3 off the back of the iron. Miller working hard to get the rebound, but it goes out of bounds. Is it Midwest City basketball? Okay. I thought Miller touched the ball, but we're a long way away from the play.
Other side of the court, we can't see the baseline, so it maybe went out before she touched it.
7:20 to play here in the second period.
One of the interesting things about Laud Macarthur, when on a baseline out of bounds play, they will often go with a man defense after playing zone. A lot of teams will do the opposite of that.
Miller gives the fake, head nod. Jab step, goes around the defender, puts up the shot. Rebound Midwest City. Landon in the corner, thinks about the 3. She passes over to Miller. Miller's going to take the 3 from the left wing. Back iron, no good. Little shove by Mack. She gets the rebound and pushes the ball down the court. It's a 1-on-4. Mack needs to pull up here. Just at the top of the key. Passes off, 3 coming. Back iron by Brown, no good. Douglas with the rebound, and Midwest City's pushing the ball back the other way. Almost identical play as before. This time Landon, instead of shooting, drives in, puts up the shot. No good, and Macarthur gets the rebound. Pass inside to Thompson. Thompson makes a nice post move and goes off the glass. First bucket in about 9 minutes of play for Macarthur.
Now, Courtney Thompson did not have a good game against Del City, and she was in foul trouble. If she's not being guarded by Douglas, she can take anyone else inside in the paint.
Mack from the right elbow puts one off the back of the iron. Shot no good. Rebound by Curtis. Back inside. Off the glass by Thompson again. Gets her own rebound, and she's going to throw a shoulder in, and we have a blocking foul called on the defense.
Tough call. I mean, she definitely was just looking to bowl over Sadie Johnson. Or we call her Sadie, but which one? Do you remember which one it was?
I was going with what 20? You said.
Okay.
I said Sadie because that's what you said. So I'm trusting
Sometimes
you on
the PA announcer and I are on the same page.
I'll try to listen to him next time. All right, we have the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Again, Toonie Buys Houses, phone number 405-931-3046. Thompson hits the first free throw. With those 3 points that she has here in the early part of the second period, she's the leading scorer for Macarthur now. Second Toonie Buys Houses free throws off the front of the rim. Douglas with the rebound. Gaddis running point for Midwest City. Johnson and Gaddis just passing the ball back and forth. Gaddis tried to feed it inside, tipped away by Macarthur, and now ball stolen away. Good defense by Macarthur there, and a little careless with some of the passes by Midwest City on that offensive possession.
Oh, a nice play there by Gaddis, hitting it off the Macarthur player's leg. I think the problem Midwest City had that last possession is you saw Macarthur's going with some size at the top of the zone, and that can mess with you when she's playing the passing lanes. That, of course, being Lennox Stevenson.
Johnson for three from the corner. Boom! There's another Bobby Lewis Insurance three. Bobby Lewis has 2 locations, surprisingly great rates. You can reach him in Del City at 405-670-3665.
That's one of the differences. Midwest City's got players who are making threes, and, of course, very comfortable on their home court. Lod MacArthur is not. Of course, in the game at Lod MacArthur Tuesday against Del City was the one making threes, and that's what made the game close. Lod MacArthur is in an extended slump when it comes to shots behind the arc.
Mia Hughes driving in, tries to stop and pull up, travels in the process. Another turnover for MacArthur.
Just good defense by Chloe Knox. When you can stay with your player like that, they want to try to take long strides, and maybe they'll lose their balance and commit a travel like Mia Hughes did there.
23-5 the score, 5 minutes to play in the first half. Gaddis to the top of the key, passes off, back to the corner. Knox for three, back iron. Ball bats around. Johnson comes up with it, gives it to Martin. Martin pulls up on a three from the corner. High arcing shot. And that one hits back, iron rebound by Hughes. She draws the foul, and I believe it's going to be Chloe Knox. It is.
You know, that's a different type of Sierra Martin we've seen this season compared to last season. She, especially towards the end of the season, she became very reluctant to shoot. In that case, that wasn't a bad three-point shot. She wasn't totally balanced either, but it was high arcing. So it just shows that she has a lot more confidence in her game right now than what she was at this point last year.
There is a lot that can happen to your confidence when you're up 23-5 in the second period as well. So
that's true, but I've been seeing this for Sierra Martin throughout the season, but you're right.
Douglas goes up, tries to do a one-handed rebound. She may have had her left hand held and then brings the ball down off of her own foot out of bounds. So it's MacArthur ball under the base at the baseline.
Oh, Mac, nice move, but maybe a little too nice. She got called for a travel. Had a rough night. She's normally better than this.
You hate to see a player put the ball on the court every time they catch it under the basket, but that time she needed to put the ball on the court. Gets called for the travel. Landon for three. That one's short. And we're going to have a jump ball, I believe, on the rebound. Possession arrow goes to MacArthur.
Well, it's what they say. It's hard for the defense to rebound an air ball because they're not looking for the ball to be missed like that. And so Douglas was able to come in and force a jump ball there. Still MacArthur's ball.
Hughes defended by Gaddis. Hughes does a little behind-the-back dribble getting down the court. MacArthur sets up their offense. Heavy on the side with the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds as Thompson just loses her dribble over there on the baseline in the corner.
She really had nowhere to go with that. I don't know why she kept going to that corner. It's better to try to reverse the ball at that point.
Landon inbounds to Gaddis, 23-5 the score. Midwest City on top. Gaddis goes right. Motions for Martin to get in the corner. Now Martin's coming across the baseline. Landon at the top of the key. Gaddis looking inside, drives in, finds, in the game now, number 24, Janae Shea is in the game. Shea tries to put the shot. It's blocked out of bounds. Midwest City ball.
Yeah, we realized that's her name. We were calling her Say before the star was, but you know, she's someone who can give Douglas a spell and give him some big minutes.
Johnson in the corner, way out in the corner, looks at the basket, kicks the ball back out to Gaddis. Gaddis driving again, going to the hole, off the glass with her arms held. She's going to the line to shoot. Toonie Weishausen's free throws.
All right, Gaddis missed her last 2 free throws, so we'll see if she can work on that right now.
Mia Hughes just picked up her 3rd personal foul also. That could be significant for MacArthur.
Absolutely, and that's not the player I was expecting because she's the smallest player, well, one of the smallest players out there for MacArthur along with Brown. But they're both freshmen guards, and they're it's kind of the lion's den for a freshman guard here when you go against Midwest City that plays with a lot of team speed.
Gaddis hits the first free throw, misses the second. Rebound goes to Midwest City. Martin has the ball on the right wing. Driving against Stevenson, goes to the hole, foul from behind, and that will be Stevenson's first personal, I believe.
Yeah, and I mean, Stevenson's got good size, but she's not the experienced player that Sierra Martin is, and it's just that's a lot of what this comes down to. A lot of these matchups, Midwest City's got the more experienced players, and they're kind of sniffing blood right now.
Sierra Martin 3 for 3 from the line now. That's the Toonie Weishausen's free throws. Extends the lead to 20, 25-5 the score. 3 fouls here in the second period on Midwest City, 2 on MacArthur. Sierra Martin follows her shot, pulls down the rebound, but is called for a lane violation.
They'll say she crossed the line too soon. They waited. The refs waited until she got a rebound before they're like, okay, now it's a lane violation.
You know, the interesting thing about that is she hadn't got the rebound but affected the play. Would they have called it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Full court pressure. Gaddis staying with Brown all the way down the court. Curtis pulls up just beyond the free throw line, shoots that one short under the basket.
I'm telling you, a more confident Mia Curtis made that shot 3 nights ago with some regularity. And, of course, like I said earlier, she hit the game-winning free throws against Del City. And it's still really important that she made that because right now, if they had lost that game to Del City and this score holds, Del City would probably be the 2 seed.
Is there a chance if MacArthur is struggling to get things going with some ladies out of the lineup that they have a game in the next week that they could lose that could affect Del City moving into the 2 spot?
No, because they swept Del City.
Okay.
The interesting thing for MacArthur that it may be to their benefit as far as getting players back, that they are going to have a game a week from Friday against Lawton Eisenhower. And that's not a district game. There will not be very many regular season games next Friday. I know Midwest City will not be playing any games, and I don't think any of the Middale schools will be.
Martin on the left wing, working against the defensive Mac, passes it off. Johnson drives the baseline. Lob pass over the middle. Boy, Mac just gets a hold of Martin and pulls her to the floor from behind. No call on the play. And on the other end, it's Curtis going to the hole and scoring for MacArthur.
Mia Curtis has very good scoring instincts. I think it's a matter of time before she starts hitting some shots with consistency.
She looks like a very athletic player and strong, and her touch on the last couple of shots definitely has looked better. Landon misses the shot as she drives to the basket from the left side. Curtis now has a 1-on-2. She's going to pass across the court. Brown drives in, puts up a high arcing shot, almost a floater from about 15 feet away.
Really good box out by Johnson.
And Landon now brings the ball up the court for Midwest City. 1.5 minutes to play in the first half. 25-7 the score, Midwest City on top. Gaddis looking inside. Martin at the top of the key. Thinks about the 3. Drives around Mac. Has the ball knocked out of her hands? No, they call it out on her.
That's hard to do, is to attack the basket from the top of the key against a zone. At some point, there's going to be a play that either gets in your way or knocks the ball from you. But like I said, Sierra Martin, who's now going to be guarding Alyssa Mack 90 feet there, but she's a much more aggressive player than she was at this time last year.
1:10 on the clock, second period. And this is the Casa Juanito second period, this basketball game. District 5A2 district matchup here between Midwest City and MacArthur. What a move, what a shot by Alyssa Mack as she drives from the right side. Here's the Super Subs instant replay.
Now that's the Alyssa Mack who dominated the second quarter against Del City, and has shown a lot of abilities like that throughout the season for Lawton MacArthur. She, within the free throw line, she can score in a lot of different ways.
Well, that was some good ball control as she was being fouled heavily and still managed to put just the right spin on that ball to get it off the glass. And then she hits the Toonie Bicehouse's free throw.
So Sierra Martin comes out. I think she picked up her third. So she might be in foul trouble. But the other thing is Midwest City, they're in a bit of a slump right now. And when that happens, they should try to work the ball in the duck because they have not really tried to post her up much this game.
Midwest City does not have a field goal in the second period. They have 2 for 4 from the line and no field goals.
Right when you said that. And that's Maya Hughes coming in. And that's a pick and roll that they were trying to work with Sierra Martin a couple plays ago, and she didn't dive all the way to the basket like she was maybe she was supposed to. But that was good execution there, and Maya Hughes just in the game. And she hasn't played a whole lot in the games we've called, so good to see her do that. She had good defense there against Mac, although maybe a little too good.
Foul called on Midwest City. Mac going back to the line. And that foul coming on Maya Hodges.
Yeah, I think I've been calling her Maya Hughes, which is a Lawton MacArthur player.
Alyssa Mack with the Toonie Bicehouse's free throws hits the first one.
She's only a freshman. We haven't seen many freshmen play for Midwest City, but this player is 6'3".
Now there's only 18 seconds left in the half, but that is the 5th foul on Midwest City. So if they happen to foul again, it is going to be shots.
Just as you say that, Lawton MacArthur's going to get the ball back.
Yeah, the rebound off the hands of Douglas out of bounds. 27-11 the score. Midwest City on top of MacArthur, but Alyssa Mack will be inbounding on the baseline for MacArthur.
She's going to be checked by Douglas, the senior. We'll see if Douglas can avoid any fouls.
And a turnover on the inbound play.
And she will.
11 turnovers in the first half for MacArthur.
No harm done for Douglas in Midwest City, but I think she should be able to box out her player and get 2 hands on the ball, not try to rebound with 1 hand.
Shea inbounds the ball to Landon. Landon pitches it off to Douglas. Douglas is going to run point now. 10 seconds on the clock. Douglas out top. Crossover. Passes off to Landon. 4 seconds. Something has to happen. Tries to lob it to Douglas under the basket, and the clock will stop with about a half a second left.
So that's why Douglas was running point. They were trying to run a play to her where she passed the ball to the left and then curls around, getting some back screens to the right side of the floor. But MacArthur defended pretty well. There wasn't really a pass Landon could make that was open.
Long pass down the court, tipped, out of bounds, and it is halftime here with the Midwest City Lady Bombers leading the MacArthur Lady Highlanders 27-11. We're going to take a quick break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tip.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
1,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Mid-Dell basketball. The Midwest City Lady Bombers leading the Lawton MacArthur Highlanders 27-11 as we begin this third period of play. Third period brought to you by Rose State College. Saving money on college is easy at Rose State. Concurrent enrollment allows students to earn up to 27 tuition-free hours of college credit while still in high school. Apply today at rose.edu/concurrent. Midwest City with the basketball as we begin the second half. Three put up by Landon. Shot no good. Battle for a rebound. Seven Miller comes up with it. She steps on the baseline. It'll be a turnover, and ball goes to MacArthur. I want to welcome again our MacArthur fans from Lawton who are viewing our stream tonight.
Interesting for Midwest City, they are not starting Sierra Martin, probably because of foul trouble. And in her place is C.D. Johnson.
Interesting note from the first half. Celia Landon, the leading scorer in the basketball game with 8 points in the first half.
Good block by Douglas.
Alyssa Mack trying to save the ball, throws it behind her back from the baseline and throws it right into the hands of a Midwest City defender. Full court pressure from MacArthur works on that particular possession, and Midwest City throws the ball away. Turnovers by each team.
That's like Gaddis is a little too amped up there.
Midwest City outscored MacArthur 20-2 in the first period, but then it was MacArthur outscoring Midwest City 9-7 in the second period.
There may have been Johnson on the turnover, may have it mixed up there.
Curtis puts up a shot, gets her own rebound, is fouled on the putback attempt, and
Mia Curtis can really have an advantage against an opposing team's guard. In that case, she went right at Celia Landon, clearly has a size advantage. And again, I want to point out, about 4 seconds to go against Del City, down one. She hit the 2 game-winning free throws, although she misses that one as I talk about it.
She has 2 points in the first half of play. Missed some shots early on. It seemed like she was getting her stroke. This is the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. She hits the second one after missing the first. Toonie Buys Houses, any condition. If you're looking to sell a house and need a cash offer, call them at 405-931-3046. 27-12, the score now. Midwest City on top. Gaddis on the left wing. Midwest City swings it all the way back around. Landon on the right wing now, looking to Douglas down low. Douglas is in the corner. Kicks it back out, Gaddis. Douglas in the paint, goes up, off the glass, shot's no good, gets her own rebound as she follows, misses, gets her own rebound again, and that ball's out of bounds off the hands of MacArthur. Douglas battling in there right now.
She probably had Landon on a cut, but then it's hard to see her because there was 2 or 3 MacArthur players draped over her.
Inbound pass goes to Johnson. She pulls the trigger on a 3, front of the rim, shot no good. Brown comes up with the rebound. She's trapped in the corner, and we're going to have a jump ball.
That's a good recognition there by Celia Gaddis and Landon, or Sanaya Gaddis and Celia Landon, because Brown did the worst thing you can do, dribble right to the corner where she gave herself even less room to work with. That's where you want to trap a player. Anytime a player's going to that spot, you would love to trap them, and they got a jump ball out of it, so they'll get the next one.
Brown gets the ball down the court successfully this time. Comes back, sets up the offense, gives the ball to Mack. A little weave. Mack cuts to the basket, catches the ball down low, off the glass, good for 2.
Yeah, you see that without Martin and MacArthur's got the bigger forwards, and they've been able to use that to get some points here.
There's a 3 from the corner by Landon, no good. Curtis with the rebound, kicks the ball out to Brown. Brown's pushing the ball up the court. It's down to a 13-point game. Landon cuts in front of the pass, steals it away, feeds it down the court, over the head of Seven Miller, out of bounds. Another turnover. That's 3 turnovers here in this third period by Midwest City.
So they'll call a 30-second timeout with Coach Knight, and they're sloppy right now. They got off to such a good start, but I think getting up to like a 19-2 lead, it just put them in a lull offensively. They really should try, again, to find, and it'll be hard to do against the zone, but get the ball to the corners and then look to throw it inside the post to Douglas, and they haven't really done much of that. Get her in a spot where she can catch the ball and then go up and shoot and not have to worry about a double team. That would be the offense I would try to run with unless you can get in transition, which they haven't been able to do much of.
It looked like that was going to be the key early on, but credit to Macarthur for making some adjustments and settling down. Mack, lob pass on the press break. Now to Curtis. Curtis inside and through the hands of Thompson. She saves it. Brown right to the hole, misses the shot. Douglas pulls down the rebound. Around Mack. Mack goes to the floor hard. Gaddis has the ball off the glass, good for two. That's a nice turnaround by Gaddis.
See that on our Super Subs replay.
Super Subs has chicken Phillies, folks. Now Johnson gets her hand on a pass, steals that one away. She's in the corner for three. It's a little short. Douglas gets the rebound on the backside, though, off the glass, good for two.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of that offensive rebound and put back by Douglas, but she was ready for the offside basketball there, and we're seeing Midwest City's press defense now lead to a lot of Macarthur timeouts. So when the offense is struggling, Midwest City ratchets up the defense, and they get a little run going.
And we've got a full timeout here, so we're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors. This is the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Let's go. What business do you want to start?
I want to start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tip.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
One,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Middale basketball. We're at the J. Sutton Fieldhouse, Midwest City High School. It's the Midwest City Lady Bombers leading the Macarthur Lady Highlanders 31-14. Highlanders were making a good push against Midwest City after getting down by 21 early. And Midwest City has turned up the heat a little bit, but now Alyssa Mack drives in and she puts that one in for two. Alyssa Mack had 4 points in the whole first half. She has 4 here early in the third period. Lob pass inside the paint to Deanna Douglas. She kicks it back out, and we're going to have 3 seconds in the lane. That's a second lane violation we've seen tonight. We saw one in a JV game.
This is why I would rather give the ball to Douglas if you can throw it in from a corner there. She makes good deflection. But when they go the ball in the middle like that, she's got defenders collapsing on her. She really can't go anywhere with it when they pass the ball from the top.
Hughes gives it to Thompson, a quick trap, but she has the height to get the ball out. Mack now with the ball, and she's going to travel. She just lost a handle on it.
Boy, she was licking her chops, was Alyssa Mack. She's played a lot better lately. I think that's a big part of that is there's no one else with size that could guard her inside the paint. Once you take out Sierra Martin. So we'll be curious to see how long she stays out.
Seven Miller tries to pass against Curtis. Curtis gets a hand on it. Miller picks it back up, kicks it out to Landon. Now Gaddis drives in, gives it to Johnson in the corner. Midwest City taking their time here. Miller trying to drive, going to pull up, call her for a double dribble.
See, when Miller catches the ball in the right corner, that's when Douglas should flash to the post.
5 turnovers by Midwest City here in the first 4 minutes of the third. Full court pressure foul. No, a travel call.
Yeah,
wow.
I think that's the right call. Brown turned and had nowhere to go with it. So she catches it, and she shoveled her feet right before the foul. I believe that's the right call.
What a great game by Celia Landon so far. She created that turnover. Gaddis drives in, puts up the shot. A lot of contact, no call. Ball goes out of bounds, off her hands. Macarthur basketball, 3:51 to play in the third. Slow game right now.
Well, Midwest City really, they can't figure out what they want to do against the zone. I think that's an area they need to improve on. I guarantee you they're going to probably play Western Heights in the first round, and I think Midwest City will win that game comfortably, but I guarantee Western Heights will zone them. They need to, and then tougher teams will zone them. They need to execute well against the zone.
Thompson tries to pass it down the baseline, tipped away by Douglas. Baseline inbound play coming from Macarthur. 3:45 to play in the third period. Only one foul called here in the third period.
That is surprising, only one foul. Lots of turnovers,
Lots
just
of
one foul.
We have 9 turnovers between the two teams in 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Averaging a turnover about every 30 seconds right now.
Yeah, I mean, if Lon MacArthur had Fisher, this could be a whole different game, but of course they're going to be without her.
Midwest City taking their time here on offense.
It's good for MacArthur. They're getting this experience. They're going to host no matter what, so they're still going to be a threat.
Miller driving the baseline, goes up the floater from about 6 feet out. The ball's tipped out of bounds right into Miller's hands as she's standing out of bounds on the baseline.
But to finish that thought, for Lon MacArthur, they're going to have to adjust to some of their freshmen they're going to rely on, the 2 guards. They need this experience. And it's good that they're going to play Lawton Eisenhower as kind of an extra tune-up game on Friday, next Friday.
Hughes loses her dribble. Douglas saves it into the hands of Miller. And Gaddis pushes it up the court. Gaddis drives against 4 defenders and puts up a floater in the paint for 2.
Well, it was against 4 defenders, but she had a soft spot there where she could go for a shot. Just a very good decision on her part.
Mack pulls the trigger on a 3 with a 2-on-3, and neither team really getting back down the court very well right now. Foul called on the floor.
Well, I don't know what Alyssa Mack was doing. Her strength is taking a smaller player to the paint and trying to get a good shot. That's her strength. And she forced a 3 that was, I mean, she wasn't even that wide open.
So that is the first foul of the third period against MacArthur, but it was the 4th personal foul for Mia Hughes. Landon takes the pass out top. Miller in the corner. Again, Midwest City just taking their time. Gaddis looking inside. Douglas at the high post. Nobody looks like anything is urgent offensively right now, and MacArthur settled into that defense.
Well, but like I said, Middle City struggling against the zone, so they need to be patient. That's forced. That's just not a good place to throw the ball into Douglas, in my opinion.
There's another turnover for Midwest City. Brown going to the hole. Backside layup, no good. Rebound and a putback attempt by Thompson's no good, but she draws the foul.
And Douglas is a little banged up. And still no Sierra Martin. I think it makes sense because, again, she's in foul trouble, but she's someone who could help this team right now. They're going to go to Chloe Knox as their first sub of the quarter.
Johnson's called for, Gaddis called for the foul. Johnson's going to take a seat as Knox checks in. Thompson's at the line shooting 2 free throws. Free throws brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses. Misses the first.
Now, the best I've seen Thompson play was the first game they had against Del City in January. And she's been quiet since then.
Free throws in and out. Gaddis gets the rebound. Lobs to Douglas, and the lob is too high. There is a 7th turnover of the period for Midwest City.
And Douglas just wasn't open. Now, you could throw Douglas a pass when she's not open. She might catch it because of her size and ability, but still not recommended.
The last 2 possessions, Midwest City has tried to force it inside to her.
Yep.
Mack trying to make something happen. Passes off to Curtis. Curtis does a little pivot move, and Thompson's going to be called for over the back.
Yeah. What a nice move by Curtis. I mean, she's really a talented player, and this is going to happen to the best of them. Her shot's not falling right now.
Thompson's second personal, second team foul, a minute and a half to play in the third period. Still a 17-point lead here for Midwest City, 33-16. Not many shots put up by Miller in this ballgame so far. Bad pass from Landon. Gaddis comes up with it, puts up the shot from just beyond the free throw line and puts that one in for 2. Sanaya Gaddis has 6 points in the third period.
Yeah, I was about to say, she has been outstanding this quarter. She hasn't had a lot of help, but she is the reason Middle City's keeping a big lead here.
Mack drives into the paint, spins around and throws up an ugly shot out of control, but she gets the foul, and that foul going on Gaddis. That's her third personal now.
Well, that's Alyssa Mack's game, and she will try to take a smaller player, move him around while she has the ball, and then spin and usually get a good shot up or get fouled. And that's why I was surprised she wasn't more aggressive earlier in the game once Sierra Martin went out for the first time.
So Alyssa Mack hits the first free throw. Second one is on the way. It's good as well. Free throws brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses. Phone number is 405-931-3046.
They're going to try something new. Middle City are going to have Douglas at point guard. And Macarthur looks like they're going man.
Under a minute to play in the third period. Ball back to Douglas. Expect to see her pass it out to a corner and then cut to the basket. That's what we've seen from her already once
that's
here.
It. Yep.
Running off those screens. Now she's all alone on the low post and draws the foul as she goes up for the shot.
Now that play worked, even though the pass came from the top. That play worked because the Macarthur's defense was not in position to collapse on Douglas. So she caught it in good position. She didn't even have to dribble. She could just catch it and go up strong. So an effective play for Midwest City. And another possessions this quarter, Macarthur was going with a zone, and Midwest City would try to throw the ball from the top to her in the post, and there was just no room for her. As Macarthur was in position to collapse and double and triple team her. So that was a much better possession to get the ball into her.
Deanna Douglas gets both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws to fall. She has 8 points in the ball game now. Full court pressure by Midwest City, and it pays off as we have the ball just thrown away out of bounds by Macarthur.
Yeah. Well, when you have a player trapped in that corner like that, you need all 4 of the other players involved. And Macarthur had someone deep. I think it was Stevenson. And that's when a trap can really work, because then you can take away the 3 options.
31 seconds to play in the third period. Johnson gets the inbound pass, kicks it out to Landon. Landon and Knox almost in a position to cause a fumble of the ball out there near half court. Douglas cutting. Johnson inside to Douglas. It's a battle. Thompson's called for the foul, and that'll be her third personal foul. 4th team foul with 14 seconds to play in the third.
Thompson's a good, strong player, but, Douglas is on a different level. Thompson battled well, but I think that's another example where they get the ball to Douglas in a good spot. And part of it's because Macarthur's going man, and that's a great spot.
Douglas catches the ball right in the middle of the paint, puts up the shot, draws the foul. That's the 5th team foul now on Macarthur. And Mia Curtis picks up her third personal foul. Deanna Douglas shooting the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. And she's good on the first one. She is 3 for 3 from the free throw line tonight.
So Gaddis already out, because if she wasn't, you take her out. With 12 seconds to go, you want to take out anyone who's in foul trouble.
Douglas swishes both of those free throws. And Jordan, we're back to a 21-point lead, which matches the biggest lead early in the second.
Oh, thought there was going to be a big collision there.
6 seconds, Curtis scores.
Now, once Miller went for the steal, there was no one back for Midwest City.
And shot at the buzzer just wide left by Johnson after 3 periods of play. It's Midwest City leading by 19. 39-20 is the score. That third period brought to you by Rose State College. And we're going to take a break here from our sponsors here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray at J. Sutton Fieldhouse, Midwest City High School for District 5A2 basketball. It is Midwest City Lady Bombers leading the Macarthur Lady Highlanders 39-20 as we begin the fourth period of play. The fourth period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Dell City. You can come to Buffalo Wild Wings, support your favorite Mid-Dell winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone, show your waiter, and your team will get 10% of the proceeds. Deanna Douglas makes a strong move to the basket. She gets the bucket and the foul.
You know, it's surprising MacArthur's they abandoned their zone defense, and we've seen now Midwest City really take advantage of that. That's when you can really try to give the ball to Douglas. In that case, they ran a great play for her because she caught the ball on the move going from the opposite high post to the right block. And once she catches it that close, she's just about unstoppable. And that's the reason she's scored over 1,000 points in her career.
Courtney Thompson called for her fourth personal foul, first team foul here in the fourth period on MacArthur. And Douglas misses that Toonie Buys Houses free throw. Remind you, Toonie Buys Houses in any condition. Alyssa Mack. A lot of pivot moves getting down the court. I remember doing those drills when I was in high school. Brown driving the left side, pulls up on the left wing. Miller on defense. 7.5 minutes to play in the basketball game. Curtis defended by Landon. Inside. Now number 31, Kayla Washington in the ball game. She makes a nice move, puts up the shot. Johnson gets the rebound. Pushing the ball quickly down the court. Chloe Knox. Landon thought about the three. Kicks it across the court to Miller. Miller will take it. It's a little short. Our three-point shots, we haven't had many of them tonight. They are sponsored by Bobby Lewis Insurance. Bobby Lewis has surprisingly great rates with 2 locations, one in Choctaw, one in Dell City. You can reach him in Dell City at 405-670-3665. Full court pressure by Midwest City. Little body blow there by Landon. Mack. Little fadeaway jumper, shot no good. Battle for the rebound, maybe a jump, no whistle. Thought we'd get a jump ball called there. In the corner, now to Stevenson, and we have a foul called.
Looks like it'll be on Landon.
Foul was on the Bombers, number 2.
But there were threes made in the first half, but yeah, both teams, partly because they just kept turning the ball over in the third quarter. Not as many shots.
Landon picks up her second personal foul. And a travel called on Mack as she takes off dribbling and steps before she does. Gaddis and Martin check back into the game.
We saw some glimpses of brilliance from Alyssa Mack, and she's kind of hasn't been noticed the last several minutes. Let's say she has not been the aggressor.
Gaddis running point for Midwest City. Goes right. Martin bounces out top of the key. Inside. Down low, Douglas. Douglas now with 10 points in the second half, 14 on the game. 43-20 the score, and we have a timeout on the court. We're going to take a break here from our sponsors here on Mid-Dell Basketball, Oklahoma Sports Network.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Oklahoma Sports Network, this is Mid-Dell Basketball, J. Sutton Fieldhouse, Midwest City High School. Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray. It's the Midwest City Lady Bombers up on the Macarthur Lady Highlanders, 43-20 with 6.5 minutes to play in the basketball game. Our fourth period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Kalea Brown, the running point, drives in, kicks the ball out, and it is going to go out of bounds. Turnover by Macarthur. One foul on each team here in the in this fourth period, Macarthur has Mia Hughes and Courtney Thompson both with 4 fouls.
And they have to stay on them. Again, Macarthur not very deep, so I'm surprised they're not zoning. That defense was working for them.
Gaddis, a lob pass to Martin on the other side of the court. Martin goes up, puts the shot, draws the foul.
That's the third time they've run that play. They've run that to Douglas twice, and now they run it to Martin, who's come in after missing the entire third quarter. But we have all the 4 seniors in right now for Midwest City, so it'll be interesting to see if they all come out together.
Alyssa Mack just picked up her first personal foul. Sierra Martin shooting the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, misses the first. 6 minutes to play in the ball game. Lead now up to 23, make it 24 as Martin hits the second Toonie Buys Houses free throws. And a quick foul called on Midwest City. That one on Sierra Martin, her 4th personal foul.
I think now you can leave her in.
Not a smart foul, though.
No, but and she needs to be careful. I would assume as a senior again, and she's going to have a tough time guarding Mac. We'll see if Mac is aggressive against her. But she wants to come out with all the other seniors. She may have to come out early if she's not careful.
Brown with the ball, running point for Macarthur.
I want to let people know we will try to present the senior presentation. We'll try to have it for you. This is the first time we've had Midwest City Senior Night in a few years. Last time we did it, I was an assistant coach with the boys team, so I had nothing to do with it. I don't even know if the broadcasters showcased it. And in the last 3 years, we haven't been able to do a Midwest City game that was senior night, so we're happy to be able to do that here. And we got some really good seniors on both the girls and boys teams to recognize between the 2 games.
Well, Curtis takes a 3 on the other end, tries to chase down the rebound, can't get
catch.
it. Nice pass down low to Douglas, and then she chases down her own rebound and draws the foul on the putback attempt.
Again, I'm just surprised Macarthur did not stick with her zone. I thought Midwest City was not figuring it out. Once they got out of it, that kind of freed Douglas to really be a terror in the paint, which obviously she can be. She can be the most dominant post player in 5A.
Douglas misses the front end of the 2 free throws. Free throws brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses. That foul was called on Kayla Washington, her first personal foul. But the 3rd team foul here on Macarthur. And if they're going to be aggressive here in the 4th period, we'll probably see a lot of free throws coming for Midwest City.
Keep in mind, a lot of Macarthur's not used to this. They've only lost one other game in district. That was to Midwest City. Clearly, they are the 2 team. And then when I say 2 team, I mean not just 2 seed. They're the 2nd best team in this district. And Del City's right behind them. But Midwest City, even though they barely beat Del City last week, there's a bit of a gap, I think, between them and everyone else in this district. And the question is, can anyone from the other West Side district play with Midwest City? Or will we have to wait for state to see a team play with Midwest City? It'll be interesting to watch.
Turnover as Curtis is called for the travel as she tried to split defenders in the paint. Midwest City with the basketball now. 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Landon out top. Martin cutting. Gets up in the air, catches the pass. Knox driving in, pulls up from the low post. Shot's no good.
Ooh, she got hit in the mouth.
Brown across the court. Hughes pulls the trigger on a 3. Shot no good. Landon gets the rebound.
Mia Curtis incidentally hit Chloe Knox in the mouth. Ooh, Douglas had a layup there, but
3 players for Midwest City under the basket. Martin bounces out to the corner and attempts the 3. Shot no good. 4.5 minutes to play now. Brown with the ball. Goes to the left wing. And a foul called on Gaddis. That will be her 4th personal foul. And the 3rd team foul on Midwest City.
Now, for a lot of Macarthur, what's going to be interesting is who all they get back by the time the playoffs start. And you definitely want them all back by the time you play a regional game, a regional championship.
Nice,
shot goes in.
Nice inbound play there, and Stevenson found herself wide open in the paint. 45-22 the score. Midwest City on top. Martin has the ball on the right wing.
Now, Lawton Macarthur could find themselves in a regional championship against Carl Albert or Shawnee. They'll be at home, but it'll be a tough one for them either way. Midwest City, not as sure about that, although the team that will be the next highest seed going to Midwest City in a couple weeks will be Elgin. So that could be a regional championship. And Elgin, of course, is one of our Oklahoma Sports Network teams.
And the foul called against Midwest City.
And it's on Douglas for hitting Mack on the arm. By the way, I want to say something here during these Tuning Bites Houses free throws. You know, Midwest City had an interesting game at Guyman. First of all, it's interesting when you have to go to Guyman on a Tuesday. But they survived. And Guyman apparently decided when they were down 8 points in the third quarter to play stall ball and ran about 6 minutes of stall ball near the half-court line in the third quarter. And they were down 8, so it wasn't like it was they were necessarily going for the win there. And also didn't make sense from a district points standpoint. So there may have been some reason that wasn't entirely clear to Coach Knight, and she just mentioned it as that was kind of what they had to go through. That was an unusually low-scoring game. Midwest City won on Tuesday, 39-31.
That'll test your discipline and your patience.
Well, since they were up 8, I think Coach Knight was like, yeah, we'll let them do it. Hey, that got the game over quicker. You don't mind that if you're looking forward to getting back home at a decent time.
3.5 minutes left to play in the ball game. It's 45-23, Midwest City leading Macarthur. Hughes goes in, puts a shot up, no good. Gaddis all the way down the court for the layup.
Very good second half for Sanaya Gaddis.
She has 8 points in the second half, 11 on the game.
We're down to 3 minutes, and Coach Knight is riding her seniors on senior night.
Alyssa Mack drives in, puts one in over the front of the back rim.
That's a nice move. And she can do that. Lon Macarthur may need her to do that a lot going forward. And she probably, there's times that I think it would have been good for her to assert herself more.
Landon, top of the key, thought about the three. Midwest City working the ball around the perimeter. Douglas still working hard inside. Gaddis floater from the baseline, good for 2. Super Subs instant replay. Remember, Super Subs has chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe buffalo or barbecue chicken. Mack for 3 from the right wing, and that is a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. Bobby Lewis has surprisingly great rates, 2 locations in Choctaw and Del City. You can reach him in Choctaw at 405-281-6700.
I think that's Lawton Macarthur, not just Alyssa Mack. Lawton Macarthur's first 3 in at least over 2 games.
Landon, top of the key. She thought about the 3, passes off to Douglas. A minute 45 to play in the ball game. 49-28 the score. Midwest City on top. Gaddis on the left wing. Just a little lob over the top of the defender to Douglas. Now inside to Martin. Martin backing down. Mack puts up a shot over the front of the rim. Good for 2.
It's a fun matchup. I wish we saw more of Mack against Martin. Martin, she's right-handed, but she very comfortable using her left hand. That was a good move, spinning towards her left hand like that.
Mack just attacking the basket over and over here in the fourth period. And the ball just kind of bouncing around under the basket. And everybody headed the other way. Johnson comes up with it. Martin hits the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 from the left wing.
All right, we got a timeout now. It's a substitution timeout. You can tell by that, so definitely not taking a break now. And now the subs, the seniors, will be coming off from Midwest City. They played a lot in the second half, except for Sierra Martin, who had to rest the third quarter with foul trouble. But then she had a good fourth quarter.
So it looks
like we hope to talk to all 4 of them. But if we had to single out one player of the game, that'd be a hard one. It's hard to give it to Douglas because she's always a contender for it. But then but one player you would think about, even though Landon played well early in the game, would be Gaddis.
Yeah, I honestly, even though only 8 points in the first half, Landon just was very disruptive defensively in the first half, and that made a big difference in that early big lead. Landon was a big part of that.
I wouldn't be against giving it to all 4 seniors, actually.
There you go.
And we'll try to talk to all 4 here. I'm going to go ahead and, in a few seconds, head down there. But Midwest City, they are, we haven't said it yet, but we knew it was probably going to happen. They have won the district. They are going to be the district champs. That was pretty much figured out a while back this game, several minutes ago, if not since early in the first quarter. But they have delivered the knockout punch, and You know, it's the first time you have district play in 5A, so to win it the first time, it's pretty good on their part.
On the court for Midwest City now, we have Jackson Miller, number 32. Maya Hodges, number 33, is in the game as well. So we got 32 and 33. 33 is Hodges. Not sure who 32 is. And 21, Jordan Hanna. Let's see. Anderson, number 32.
Midwest City, by the way, their next game will be at Southeast. And on the girls' side, Southeast will finish 8th, more than likely, in their district. So, and then they'll have no game on Friday.
You know, Southeast has a pretty good advantage over Noble. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Apologize for that. I was looking at the boys' standings. Yeah, Southeast will be finishing 8th. Noble is leading them tonight. Pretty good.
Well, now John Marshall's down there too, so they may have to play each other again. I'm not sure, but they have. But based on scores,
it was a forfeit the first time.
Okay, that's right.
So,
based on scores, I think, and Southeast looks like they are the 8th team there.
54-28 the score with 30 seconds left. The Toonie Buys Houses free throws there by Macarthur. Miller passes off to Hanna. Hanna pulls the trigger on 3. It's short and going out of bounds. 21 seconds left. I want to recap our sponsors for the ball game. Our starting lineup sponsor was Dynamic Health Clinic. Our free throws sponsored by Toonie Buys Houses. Bobby Lewis Insurance, sponsor of our three-point shots. Our instant replay sponsor, Super Subs. Our first and fourth quarter sponsors, Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City. Second quarter is sponsored by Casa Juanito. And our third quarter was sponsored by Rose State College. That's the ball game. 54-30 is the final score. Midwest City over Macarthur. And Midwest City secures that first place in district standings here. Now we're about to have the senior night presentation. Jordan Ray is down on the court. He will be meeting with Coach Megan Knight of the Midwest City Lady Bombers to introduce our player of the game. And our player of the game is the Eastside, our player of the game sponsor is the Eastside Church of Christ in Midwest City. I am a minister there at the Eastside Church of Christ, folks, and I invite you out to come join us, see all of the ways that we serve the community with our clothing giveaway, our food pantry, our host ministry where we help those who have been displaced from their homes, and just the way we try to share the love of Christ. And we have our Bible classes on Sunday morning at 9 a.m., worship at 10. Come check us out at 916 South Douglas. Jordan is with Coach Knight and with our players of the game. Jordan.
Okay. Coach, what can you say about
And Jordan's switching mics, so we're back to Jordan.
All right, am I on now? All right, Coach, your team blitzed them in the beginning of the game. What went well for you guys?
We just had a lot of intensity coming up from the tip, and we just did really good defensively. I thought, Lot and Max really good offensively, and we were holding them to 30. So that kind of sparked us, and so really proud of us for just getting going right at the tip.
All right, what does it mean to you to be the 5A2 district champs?
It's awesome. I mean, that's what we wanted from the get-go, so I'm just extremely proud of them.
What can you say about these four standing with us? They all played tremendous games when they were in.
Yes, absolutely. I love these four, they're my babies. And, they have been here from the get-go with me, especially two of them. They're been here since they were freshmen, and so it's kind of bittersweet to see them go. And I know they're going to do great things on their next chapter, but, all four of them are just killing it right now for us.
Well, they got more home games thanks to what you did in district play. All right, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start with Deanna Douglas. Deanna, you just were playing your normal game in the first half, but then you decided to really assert yourself and be aggressive in the second half. What went into that?
I don't know, just wanting it to be a good, senior night overall, and it was important for us to be number one. So just taking all that in consideration and using it to power up in the game.
And of course, you finish. You're not finished yet, but over 1,000 points, 600 rebounds. What is your time at Midwest City as it's coming to an end mean to you?
It's just bittersweet because it's like I've done all these things, and I'm just glad that I get to leave my mark here.
All right. Well, there's more to come. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next, Sierra Martin. Sierra, you got a bit of a rest in the third quarter because of fouls, but I mean, you know, you had to defend Mac from Macarthur, and you were also shooting some threes there. What can you say about your game tonight?
It was a little off to begin with, and then my teammates just told me to pick it up and keep on going, so I just kept going.
All right, coming from Enid, what's it been like these last 2 years as a Bomber?
It's a big change, really big change. That's all I gotta say. It's just a big change.
Okay, well, congratulations. Enjoy your night. Okay, Celia, it was your birthday a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, it was on Wednesday, I think.
Okay, so happy 18th?
Yes.
Okay, and you've been getting to start the last couple games, including this one, and really being able to assert yourself. You had a couple threes early in this quarter. How'd you feel out there?
I just felt comfortable. My team was supporting me and helping me make my threes, so I was comfortable.
All right, you also came to this team as a junior from Carl Albert. What can you say about your last 2 years as a Bomber?
I love this team. I wish I would have came here my first year as a freshman, but this team just made me a better person than what I am today. So.
Okay, well, congratulations for a good game on senior night.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Gaddis, your team was struggling a bit on offense in the second half, but not you. You were taking over in the third quarter with some good shots. What was key to that?
I just work on my game more. I've been working hard, and I just been practicing on those type of shots.
Now, you had to miss your junior year with a knee injury. What's it been like being back, playing point guard, and having the senior year you've had?
It was hard. I had to go through a lot of stuff trying to get my knee back stronger, but this year been my best year, being my knee getting stronger, and it took a lot of hard work.
Okay, well, congratulations, not only senior night, but you guys are district champs, so way to go.
Thank you.
All right, see, we're going to go back to Mr. Hillen to recognize the seniors here.
Our first senior to be presented tonight is Sierra Martin. Sierra is escorted by her mom, Stephanie Martin, dad, Shannon Martin, brothers Shay and Sean Martin. Her most memorable high school experience was her freshman year being able to attend school with her brothers. She plans on attending Oklahoma Christian University to play basketball and get her nursing degree. She admires her mom. She does so much for the family. She never gives up. She's always on the go and never looks back. She can't forget a Grammy too. Sierra Martin. Our next senior is Justin Tamir Jones, being escorted by Stephanie Green, Amos Mosley, Jameer, Camilla Mobley, David Caesar, Uncle Kevin, Samaria Mobley. Justin's most memorable experiences are in their competed on court and how the team does diversity. After graduation, his plan is to either play professional basketball or go to college for business. Justin admires his mother because of her relentless efforts to provide for their family and the unconditional love she has for Justin and his brothers. It makes her spot in Justin's life irreplaceable. Justin Tamir Jones. Our next senior is Celia Landon. Celia is escorted by her uncle, Mitchell Samilton Jr., her grandma, Josephine, her mother, Lena, her little sister, Sarah, her father figure, Coach Banks, and her precious little baby brother, Gianni. Her most memorable experience of high school is playing for the best coaches in 5A basketball and playing with her big cousin, Deanna Douglas. She plans to play basketball in college and get an education degree to teach elementary students. She admires Coach DBC because no matter how she's feeling, happy or sad, he makes sure she's okay and gives her advice every time she needs it. She thanks him for everything. Sanaya Gaddis. Our next senior is senior Roy Henderson III. He's being escorted by mother Letitia Henderson, father Roy Henderson, sister Brooklyn Henderson, grandmothers Opal Cade, Sheila Henderson, grandfathers Roy Henderson Sr. and Brian Rankin, aunt Candace Henderson, cousins Mason McKenzie, Kendall Jones, Jaden Pitts, and Kingston Pitts. Roy's most memorable high school experience is when he played his first varsity high school game. After graduation, his plan is to go to college and play basketball at the next level. Roy admires his mother, father, and grandparents because they support him in anything he wants to do. They provide for him and always show him unconditional love. Roy Henderson III. Our next senior is Sanaya Gaddis. Sanaya is escorted by her mom, Sharonda, her dad, Kentrell, her sister, Janelle, her sister, Rain, brother, KJ, her baby brother, Jufish, and her boyfriend, Lisiera. Her most memorable high school experience was beating PC West during her sophomore year. She plans on attending college and working towards being a psychiatric nurse. The person she admires most is her mommy. She will do anything for Sanaya and has her back more than anybody in the world and would do anything to make her happy. Sanaya wouldn't be who she is without her. Sanaya Gaddis. Our next senior is Brian Williams Jr. Brian is being escorted by father, Brian Williams Sr., mother, Wendy Williams, and sister, Brianna Williams. Brian Williams Jr.'s most memorable high school experience was when they won the PCI tournament. After graduation, his plan is to continue his studies and play baseball at Dallas Baptist University. Brian admires his family because regardless of the tough times, they always strive to be better people. Brian Williams Jr. Our final senior for tonight is Deanna Douglas. Deanna is being escorted by her mom, dad, Graham, Pawpaw, and family. Her most memorable high school experience was getting her tooth knocked out in their regional game. She plans to continue her education at Northeastern State University to get her bachelor's and master's degree to someday become a family therapist. She admires her mother and Coach Malloy the most. They are some of the strongest women in her life. They teach her to be better every day, and without them, she doesn't know where in life she would be today. Deanna Douglas. Let's hear it once again for all our seniors.
All right, so thank Ken Hellenbrand for the presentation, letting us, he borrowed our mic. Obviously, I couldn't tell the mics apart. I didn't realize how much alike they looked. That was quite an interesting moment. But also, I want to thank, here's an interesting one, Kyle Ritchie, the Carl Albert girls coach, because he allowed his assistant coach, Robert Banks, to come here because Carl Albert girls are playing tonight. So I'm guessing Coach Banks at the very least had to leave their game early to come as Celia Landon, who played at Carl Albert for her first 2 years, was being presented for senior night. So I think that's a classy gesture that Coach Banks was able to come, and I'm sure Coach Ritchie had a lot to do with that. Okay, when we come back, you're going to see an interview I had with first-year Midwest City Boys head coach Tori Noel. It's Middell and Lawton Macarthur basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Red Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
All right, happy to be joined by Midwest City head coach Tori Noel and the Bombers. They have already clinched the 1 seed. So, Coach, you had to play Guyman twice. Talk about the trip to Guyman and all that went into that, and then playing them 2 days later. What'd you like about how your teams played?
I think it was just tough, man. The trip was okay as far as for me, I'm used to it as I played college basketball and things like that, so I'm used to the travel. I think it was a lot for some of the boys, because being on the bus for quite a bit of time and then getting off the bus to go play basketball. I think it was it was tough, man. Guyman scored about 50 on us, and we scored the basketball. We didn't guard nobody first time around, but I think we adjusted last night, and we defended at a high level. Didn't score the ball like we needed to, but I was happy the way we defended because we turned defense into offense.
You're about to play your third game in 4 nights, and I know that's a common thing for a state tournament to play, that many games. But because we're this late in the season, do you see any mental or physical fatigue in your players? And how do you what do you notice with your guys as far as having such a busy week?
Just no, I think we took a day off, like a light day off Wednesday, just to get some shots and stuff. I guess we'll see tonight with fatigue and things like that, but I think we pretty well conditioned, So we'll see what it looks like tonight. I think it'll be fun.
And so again, you have the district title clinched, and that you will be a 1 seed. What does that mean to you to already have that in tow? And then what's going to be important for your team to do well tonight?
It's huge, man. I think it's a good look for our boys program. Bouncing back from last year and pretty much being the first to win a district as OSA changed it. So I think it's definitely a good look. But going into postseason, we got to sharpen things up because the competition it'll get tougher and tougher each game.
Yeah, and you're going to recognize your seniors, Justin Jones, Roy Henderson, Brian Williams, and you've been around those guys since they were freshmen. What can you say about that particular group and what they've meant to this program?
They've been huge, man. Start with Roy. Roy's growth's been, he's grown a lot. He didn't play varsity as a freshman, sophomore, then was thrown to the fire as a junior, had up and down year as far as winning and stuff, but he scored the ball well. That's something he could do. And this year, just trying to get him, change his mindset up a little bit and get him in winning ways, competing, and being a good teammate, and little things like that. Man, he came a long way. Still a little work in progress, but man, it don't happen overnight. So I'm pleased with what I'm seeing from Roy. Brian Williams, big asset to the team. He was huge on coming back, with handling Roy, and making sure Roy is good and vice versa. They push each other from the day Brian stepped back on court. So I think that was a blessing in disguise because Roy actually respects Brian and they respect each other, at a high level. So, and then Justin, man, he's just a competitor, man. Like he does a lot of the dirty work. He gets onto every teammate, no matter how good you are. And I think that's really huge for him. And he's very blue collar, plays so hard. That's something he brings to the team.
And then Macarthur, I think one of the challenges they have, they got some good players, for sure all around, but their big guy, Brendan Malone, and at some point you'll have a big game coming up against a team with a good post player who will have some height advantage against you guys. So what's going to be the challenges against Lawton Macarthur?
Just, playing physical, playing hard. We'll see some big guys and stuff like that, but we got to continue to defend at a high level. We got to execute better offensively on baseline bounds, and just come down the stretch to we call a play and just run it. I think we're very inconsistent on that, but we'll be fine.
And I guess the nice thing about having the district wrapped up is next week you can start to look at some teams you might be playing, like for a regional championship, like an El Reno or Guthrie. And we talked about this before we started recording. So is that something that obviously you're thinking about it? Are you going to start watching film on some of those teams soon?
Yeah, I actually want to start today, but I'm not going to cheat the game. We got MAC tonight. We got Southeast next week. So probably start this weekend, looking at El Reno, looking at Guthrie, stuff like that. El Reno's a really good coach team. They run their stuff. Their culture is set. They got some good kids. Man, I coach a few guys from that program. So I want to make sure we get the scout down and go out there and compete.
All right, I can't wait. I can't wait to see you guys host a regional again. So I'm looking forward to that. But looking forward to the game tonight. So, Coach, thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Middale basketball. Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray. We're at the J.E. Sutton Fieldhouse at Midwest City High School, where the Midwest City Bombers are hosting the Macarthur Highlanders. And the girls' game just finished up a few minutes ago as the Midwest City Lady Bombers coming out on top 54-30, but now it's about the boys. Midwest City Bombers come into this district game, 5A2 district game, with the first place position in the district pretty much wrapped up at this point, right?
It is wrapped up because they have a tiebreaker over Del City, so Del City can't catch them and surpass them in the standings. with 2 games to go. They have a 3-game lead against Dell City. Now against Lod MacArthur, Lod MacArthur, they have a 3-game lead because Lod MacArthur lost to Dell City twice. So yes, when we look at the standings, Midwest City is the 1 seed. So this is a little different than the girls' game. So for both teams, it's going to be kind of like these games were last year when you play them after the seedings come out. You're playing for pride. You want to play for your seniors. If it's senior night, you still want to play to win. Hey, you love the sound of saying you went undefeated in district. That would sound great so I'm sure Midwest City, they would like to accomplish that. And they want to get tuned up and more tuned up. And, Lod MacArthur is going to offer some challenges to Midwest City that, they need to be ready for come playoff time. And the same for Lod MacArthur. They're pretty much locked into the 3 seed. So, again, we want to definitely keep in mind our Lod MacArthur audience. The Highlanders are probably going to be a 3 seed. What's interesting there is the other district, 5A1, on the boys' side, it's a little unclear on the girls' side at the top. It's very unclear at the boys' side on the top. So it's hard to speculate right now on who's going to play who or who's lined up to play who in the regional championships, which will be in a couple weeks. 2 weeks from today, in fact, regional championships.
And there's still, and this is all to be decided because there are still a couple of district games left for a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
And as you've already explained when we were talking about the girls earlier, it's not you're playing for rankings and then to get an assignment from OSSAA. You're actually playing for district standing position now, and that determines who you play in the next district. That's only in 5A and 6A. In 4A down through Class B, it's still based on rankings and assignments and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, Class B and Class A playoffs actually started this weekend. Class B girls started last night, and the Class B boys and Class A basketball are all starting their district play in the playoffs tonight. So that's underway. 2A, 3A, 4A start next week, and then we've got these districts you'll have to play out here in 5A and 6A.
Yes, I got to say, this bland is blaring right now, but I think I got much of what you're saying. Yeah, what normally happens before they went to district play is they would come out with the brackets about 10 days before the season ended. So you had 2 or 3 games that didn't have anything at stake unless you wanted to win a conference championship, which, in basketball doesn't mean a whole lot. But districts, it sure does. So, but the thing is, once you get out there and play, you're not gonna play differently just because you've already won the district or you're already locked into a seed, unless you got a really key player who's hurt. Then you have to think about that. Yeah, if who you might play if the circumstances were different.
Yeah. So our starting lineup's about to be introduced. Are we going to Ken Hildebrand here?
Yes.
All right, we're going to go to Ken Hildebrand for our starting
Midwest
lineup.
City
Brought to you by Dynamic
Bombers. For the Highlanders, number 2, Garrett Herring. Number 3, TK Taylor. Number 4, Javal Coleman. Number 12, Brennan Maldy. And number 23, Keon Brawl. And for your Midwest City Bombers, number 1, Justin Jones. Number 2, Roy Henderson. Number 5, Deshaun Denson II. Number 20, Carlshawn Young. And number 21, Brian Williams.
Okay, so let's bring up that starting lineup graphic one more time. We're a little bit off on that. There was a late change. I don't know if it was a late change, but a change for Midwest City. So they're going to start Justin Jones, a senior, on senior night instead of Mason McKenzie. So so we have that one a little different, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mason McKenzie comes in soon, especially if Brennan Malone from Lod MacArthur starts going off early. He impresses me every time I watch him as one of those guys who can really light it up from the inside. He has such good scoring instincts and athleticism. And that's a good starting lineup for Lawton MacArthur. Now, last time they played Midwest City, they ran into a buzzsaw, and that was led by DJ from Midwest City. He also goes by Deshaun Denson, who hit 7 threes in that game. A lot of those took place in the first quarter, and the Bombers never looked back. And that's why they have the district wrapped up, because they got that win against Lawton MacArthur back on January 12th.
Our starting lineups is introduced by Ken Hildebrand a moment ago, brought to you by Dynamic Health Clinic. Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better, recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. MacArthur gets the opening tip here, sets up their offense. Denson providing some good defense. Young comes up with a loose ball, turnover by MacArthur. And the three from the left wing, boom, there's a Bobby Lewis Insurance three. That one drained by Roy Henderson.
That's kind of how they started the game last time they played.
In the paint, blocked from behind, and it's Williams coming up with the loose ball, gives it to Jones. Jones going to the hole is fouled as he tries to do the crossover layup.
You know, that's good to see Justin Jones get this opportunity early. He didn't play last week against Dell City. I don't think he's in the rotation when the game is close. And it's not really on him. There's just a lot of good guards on Midwest City's team, and he's on the smaller end of that, so you can see why. But he's a senior, so it's his last home regular season game, and he's been making the most of it. So far, they're going by getting out in transition. Hopefully he can make this next Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Toonie Buys Houses, our free throw sponsor for the game. They buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call them today for a cash offer. 405-931-3046. Jones misses both free throws. MacArthur does a good job getting right down the court. And
that's Jones with the foul.
Jones gets called for the foul. Malone, a lot of height out there, and he is out of position as he tries to go up that layup. Hits the floor pretty hard. He's going to the line to shoot Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Now, Lon MacArthur looked ready for the press, although Midwest City couldn't get a good press going because they missed the second free throw. And that's a good foul, though, by Jones. No, don't let Malone have an easy two. Again, he's a guy that can really score efficiently in the paint. In fact, Lon MacArthur's first possession, they had Malone posting up the smaller Brian Williams and didn't give it to him. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Well, Malone misses both free throws, so we're now 0 for 4 to start the game between the two teams. There's another three, left wing. Boom, there's a three by Deshaun Denson.
And Lon MacArthur knows all about him. But, you know, when Midwest City pushes it like that, you can't get your defense ready sometimes.
Bobby Lewis Insurance, our three-point sponsor, has surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you, Choctaw and Dell City. The phone number in Choctaw, 405-281-6700. From the left elbow, shot put up by Javal Coleman. No good. Rebound, Midwest City. Henderson out top to Young. Young defended by Malone. Goes in. Little hook shot. No good. Rebound by MacArthur.
Good job by Malone. I'm sure he knows the scouting report on Carl Sean Young. He wants to go left.
Malone in the paint. Has the ball stripped away as he goes up for the shot. Keon Brown passes out, and it is a three by T.J. Taylor.
One thing for Lon MacArthur that's been missing in their games against these Mid-Dale teams is having someone who can shoot threes for them and make them, like Roy Henderson does.
Roy Henderson just drains another Bobby Lewis Insurance three, and so we have 4 buckets in the ballgame, all from downtown.
That's right. Coach Gagliardi of Lon MacArthur has to be like, not again. Seems like Midwest City's just red hot against his team from three-point range.
Herring in the corner, dribbles out into the paint, picks up his dribble, pulls up from the left elbow, back iron, no good. Young gets the rebound, pushing it up the court very quickly, spins around, kicks it into the corner to Williams for three. That one's in and out, and it's Malone coming down with the rebound. Taylor all alone down in the front court, passes the ball back out to Herring, and Herring will set up the offense. 9-3 the score, Midwest City on top.
Does MacArthur go back to Malone, now being guarded by Carl Sean Young. Not as much of a size advantage, but still he's being guarded by a guard.
Both of these guys look like basketball players when you look at them.
So is 23. That's Brown for Lon MacArthur. Good job using the screen there from Malone.
Keon Brown drives in and takes the dish, lays it off the glass for two. It's a 4-point game, 9-5. Young showing some stopping ability. He pulls the trigger on a three. Boom, another one. It's our Super Subs instant replay.
Wow, they're hot. And, you know, there's a reason that Carl-Sean Young is committed to Oklahoma State, because he can hit step backs like that. Boy, did he show a lot of length on that step back, too.
Herring for three. It's long. Rebound goes to Henderson. Henderson gets the ball down the court. Pulls up, left wing. It's another three. That one's a little bit long. Brown gets the ball, gets it down the court. TJ Taylor in the corner for three. Malone with the rebound. Pulls up, puts it in for two.
Such a nice touch around the basket. And, you know, sometimes Midwest City will be rotating so much on defense. They're going to have guards, you know, boxing out big men like you saw Denson there trying to box out Malone. And that's going to be a tough matchup for him. That's the vulnerability Midwest City may have sometimes on defense.
Denson running point. Finds Henderson in the corner. Henderson a little jab step. Now dribbles back. Takes the baseline. Cross the baseline. Williams step back three. That one's short. Denson tips it in for two.
You know, he doesn't just hit threes as Denson, and he will, besides that, crash the offensive glass. He's pretty good at it. You know, he's longer than you think.
Brown still in the backcourt with the ball. Needs to get across the timeline. He does. Henderson on D. Pass inside. That's a turnover.
Uh-oh, is he going to try to dunk it?
Denson's going up. Lays it off the glass. It's going to be an and one for Denson.
It looked like he thought about it for a second, and then I'm surprised he used the backboard, but it rolled in, and he got fouled. And so a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Denson, he also had a really good game against Del City last week, so he plays well on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Well, Denson has 7 points in the game now, 16-7 the score, Midwest City on top of Macarthur. It feels like the game has been closer than what it is, but with 4 threes drained already, it's a 9-point lead.
And when I mentioned about three-point shooting from Macarthur, they've had an issue because this is the time I've seen them. They haven't won a game where I've watched them or announced their game, because the games we've shown, they play the two top teams in the district, Midwest City and Del City. Otherwise, they beat everyone else. This is a really good team, but they've had trouble scoring early in games. This time they're having trouble defending because Midwest City's got several players on point. And by the way, a sub for Midwest City, this is their normal starter in Mason McKenzie, who I didn't mention before but is worth pointing out. He's a cousin of Roy Henderson, and he's an absolute dog on defense. He's only 6 feet tall, but he can guard bigger players unbelievably well. And he's going to guard Malone right now.
Well, Carl-Sean Young picks up his first personal. There's a three from top of the key by TJ Taylor. No good. Now Taylor takes the dish. Back inside. He draws the foul going to the hole. TK Taylor, evidently.
Yeah, I think I used to call him Tykel Taylor, but TK makes a lot of sense with that K right in the middle of his first name. He's one of those guards who can, he can make things happen, but I haven't always seen it. He's kind of hit or miss, so it's a good job on his part to cut to the basket. I think, did he make the three early for Lawton Macarthur?
He did.
Yeah, so he's getting off to a good start. This is something Macarthur needs in the playoffs, is seeing Taylor or Coleman, one of the two, really get off to a good start.
And Taylor makes both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. I'm not sure who that last foul was called on, but 3 team fouls now on Midwest City. Denson, top of the key, finds a cutting Henderson, who slams that one home.
Well, we got to see that one again.
There's the Super Subs instant replay of that dunk.
I will say Lawton MacArthur's doing a good job against the Midwest City press. They're going uphill. Unfortunately, they're not doing a good job with whatever Midwest City's trying to do on offense. They're not getting the defensive intensity going that they need to.
Well, McKenzie picked up his first personal, and that's 4 team fouls on Midwest City now. Travel called on MacArthur.
So that's a sub for Lawton MacArthur, who just came in right now. And one of a pretty good sub in Adam Austin, good-looking sophomore. And he just got kind of fooled by the way McKenzie defended him there. But that's what McKenzie does. He makes a lot of good defensive plays that you're not going to see on the stat sheet.
Malone's going to take a seat. Checking into the game is A.J. Vaughn for MacArthur. That's a big height difference. Also checking in for Macarthur is number 21. Let's see, we had Adam Austin and also you had mentioned Alton Austin both into the game.
And ho-hum, another Bobby Lewis 3.
Young with the rebound. Ball kicked out, foul on the floor. That's going to be 3 fouls on Macarthur. Keon Brown picks up his second personal foul.
I don't know if MacArthur's gotten a stop yet. I don't know if Midwest City's missed a shot. Well, they missed one because Denson got an offensive rebound, but not many.
Not many.
More than that.
Who hit that last 3?
That was Carl Sean Young. From distance, too.
And Young from the corner, another Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 by Carl Sean Young. He has 3 threes here in the first period. It's a 16-point lead for Midwest City, and a timeout is called by MacArthur with 1:50 left on the clock. 25-9 is the score.
It looks to be a 30-second. When you see the players get up, that usually means 30-second. Or is it?
Yeah. Well,
no, it's a full.
They decided to change it.
We'll take a quick break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Middale basketball. It's the Midwest City Bombers leading the MacArthur Highlanders 25-9 with 1:50 left to play here in the first period. Our first period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal, Del City. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings to support your favorite Middale winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone, show your waiter, and your team will get 10% of the proceeds. So if you go there and buy a lot of wings, folks, make sure you show them your team photo and help your team out.
It's pretty much all winter sports teams for Middale, not just Midwest City, but Del City and Carl Albert too.
In and out on the 3 by Brown, but cleaned up by number 10, Alton Thomas.
Yeah, Midwest City went zone, and again, they're a smaller team, and sometimes when you play a zone, you miss some defensive rebounding responsibilities, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, the smallest guy on the court got inside everybody and picked that rebound up.
Also, MacArthur's going zone. So Midwest City could probably work their way for another 3 right now.
Henderson skip pass, picked off. And there's a stop for MacArthur. You were just talking about a minute ago.
We'll be interested to see as well. We see missed shots from Midwest City. At some point we will, but that will, of course, be a turnover.
1 minute to play in the first period. 4 fouls on Midwest City, 3 fouls on MacArthur. Denson running the point for Midwest City. Henderson on the right wing, looking inside. Young posted up the high post. Henderson in the corner. Inside to McKenzie. Nice no-look pass across to Denson. Another 3. Shot no good. Rebound MacArthur. So there's a missed shot.
Yeah. And now that I'm thinking about Roy Henderson had a miss. And what happens, Midwest City, they want to play so fast that even when they miss a shot and give up a defensive rebound, they will try to trap if they see the opportunity. And they're going to have more firepower coming up. Mark Jackson is a really good versatile sub coming in for the Bombers right now. He can light up from three-point range. He might be the 4th best three-point shooter for him. And that's saying a lot because the top 3 are all in fine form right now, that being Denson, Henderson, and Young.
35 seconds to play in the first period. Brown with the ball, still in the backcourt. MacArthur gets the ball into the front court now. Austin with it. Tipped away. Young gets the steal. Passes off to Henderson. Henderson goes up around the defender, lays it off the glass. That was a great athletic move by Henderson. And he has 10 points in the first period.
That didn't take long. We showed you the replay, but then I think Midwest City wants to press off a make. And Lawton MacArthur, one thing they're doing really well is after they give up a basket, they're pushing the ball up and getting the ball to Malone or someone like him close to the basket. So they're executing pretty good on offense as Lawton Macarthur. They just have to hope Midwest City cools off at some point.
Malone gets the N1 attempt, misses the Toonie Bice Houses free throw. Denson gets the ball down the court. 10 seconds on the clock now. In the corner, Young pulls up from about 12 feet. Shot's no good. Macarthur has 2 seconds. Taking too long.
No, I think they call
we're going to call a shooting foul right at the buzzer. That'll put A.J. Vaughn at the line shooting Toonie Bice Houses free throws during a dead ball time.
Well, the band keep going while Macarthur shoots. This quarter's not over till they shoot.
Vaughn.
I'm surprised. Yeah, now they stop. I'm surprised that the refs or Vaughn even said, hey, they need to stop playing while I shoot. But he didn't care. He made the first one.
And he makes the second one as well. That's a wrap on the first period. 27-15 is the score after 1 period of play. Midwest City on their way to put a century on the scoreboard. We're going to take a break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray at J. Sutton Fieldhouse, Midwest City High School for Mid-Dell basketball. Midwest City Bombers leading the Macarthur Highlanders 27-15 as we begin the second period of play. The second period brought to you by Casa Juanito. Casa Juanito is a quick service restaurant offering fresh and flavorful fiesta meals in Del City, Oklahoma since 1976, located at 4718 Southeast 29th Street in Del City, just east of Sooner Road. Midwest City with the basketball to begin the second period. Young out of the left wing, inside to McKenzie. McKenzie kicks it back out. 3 by Henderson, in and out. Denson tries to tip it in, and Denson's going to be called for reaching over the back.
Or is it a jump ball?
No, it was a foul.
I think you're right, but I'm not hearing the announcement. They also switched the possession arrow, I thought.
Well, no, it's still with Macarthur, and Midwest City had the ball to start the period. So Malone dishes it down low to number 21, Adam Austin, for the bucket. And it's now a 10-point game.
Yeah, Macarthur staying in it because they're able to throw over the top or through Midwest City's pressure.
Young for 3, top of the key. Boom! It's another one. He has 4 threes in the ball game.
I am surprised with the three-point shooting being so good for Midwest City that Lawton Macarthur is going zone.
Bobby Lewis Insurance, our three-point sponsor.
A ref kept in play. Break for the Bombers. That has to frustrate Coach Gagliardi if they score this trip.
So
they do.
Wow. Henderson gets another Bobby Lewis Insurance 3, and here's the Super Subs replay.
That ball was going out of bounds. That would have been a stop for Macarthur, a turnover on Midwest City, and the ref kept it in play, and Midwest City gets 3 points.
You'd almost think that you'd call kicking the ball there and stop the play, but who do you give the ball to? A jump ball?
You could do it that way, but I guess they just consider the ref part of the play, like they do in football.
A lot of offensive boards by Macarthur on this possession, and finally a foul called on Midwest City.
Could potentially be Midwest City's Achilles heel, is offensive rebounding, or I should say for them, defensive rebounding, and that has been a bit of an issue for them, but right now it's completely outweighed. First of all, they're missed free throws for Brendan Malone. He's missed like 3 already.
He has missed 4 already, yeah.
But the other problem is, for MacArthur's standpoint, the three-point shooting for Midwest City has been so good that the mistakes that they might be making haven't mattered.
He is 0 for 5 from the line now. Henderson gets a rebound from Midwest City. Interesting note to Mason McKenzie, who came into the game late here on senior night, has 3 fouls already. So
yeah, he had that foul at the end of the quarter, travel. And that was a tough call. I'm surprised they didn't, Coach Noel didn't argue with that call, but because I thought McKenzie was pretty stationary on that. But yeah, and he's someone that you want in the game for defensive reasons.
16-point lead for Midwest City, 33-17, 6 minutes and 9 seconds to play in the second period.
So new sub for Midwest City, and I think this guy got a haircut recently because I remember having longer hair last week against Del City. But Jarvis Nash,
Denson, go ahead. Sorry,
I was just saying he's checking in.
Denson taking his time out top, and a reaching in foul called on TK Taylor.
That will get called just about every time. There's definitely enough body contact.
That was his second personal foul, first team foul. Henderson takes the inbound pass from Denson. Herring on D. Young sets a screen, along with Mark Jackson as well. And now Henderson across the baseline. Young out on the right wing, swinging the ball all the way around to the left side. Henderson has it down at the low post again, and he bounces back out with it. Young, a little bit of a height mismatch there. Nash takes the three. That is not Henderson, that is Jackson.
Yeah, I mistake him too. I mistake Jackson Henderson too. And Jackson is a junior, and he could, kind of take the Roy Henderson role over to some extent. He doesn't shoot jumpers off the dribble like Roy does, but I think he'll have a big year for this team next year as a senior. He's been a move-in from Edmond Santa Fe who's made a real big impact. He started a lot of games for him too. As I say that, he misses a free throw.
The Toonie buys houses free throws. Jackson misses the front end of the 2 shots. That foul was called on TK Taylor, his third personal foul.
So the other starting guard's coming from Macarthur, Javal Coleman, and he's been quiet. So this is a good time for Lon Macarthur if he starts to assert himself on offense.
Jackson hits the second of the Toonie buys houses free throws. Malone with the ball, tipped away by Young. Malone comes up with it, and Brown now working against the defense of Nash. Down low, Malone off the glass, shot no good. Young gets the rebound, 5 minutes to play in the first half. Williams with the ball, might have got away.
Doubled.
I started to say he got away with a double dribble, but they call it a little late.
That was a really good defensive series for Carl-Sean Young before up to that point where they got the ball and then led to that turnover. But he's kind of given Malone some fits. They got a swat there.
So Coleman goes up, is fouled ahead of Young coming in. The foul called on Mark Jackson. That'll be his first personal third team foul here in the second period.
That's what you have to do against pressure. So Coleman, right now with Taylor out, he needs to be the guy that does it. And he had a solid second half against Del City 2 nights ago, even though Del City won going away at the end.
Toonie buys houses, our free throw sponsor. Coleman hits the front end. That lead staying right around 16 points right now. Just bouncing back and forth around the 16-point mark, 34-18 the score. Coleman's second free throw, Toonie buys houses free throw good as well. Young pushing the ball down the court. Malone on D.
He's going to force Malone to really defend him because Malone obviously wants to defend the paint. Now they're going zone.
Young pulls the trigger on a three. It's short. Malone gets the rebound. Pass down the court from Coleman, a little high over the outstretched hands of A.J. Vaughn, and it's a turnover for Macarthur. 34-19 the score, Midwest City basketball.
Well, when, Macarthur's kind of getting sped up by Midwest City as far as pace goes, and they've handled it well, but, you keep speeding up a team that's not used to it, then every now and then they're going to make those type of turnovers where they try to force something. And it was a good pass, it was a good idea to pass, it was an inaccurate pass. I think it's a 2.
Dempson hits one from the right elbow for 2 points. He now has 10 points in the ball game.
Force a turnover.
And a turnover down on the inbound play.
Didn't see exactly what happened, but It's enough to have Coach Gagliardi of Lawton Mac call another timeout.
37-19 the score with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the second period. Timeout called by Macarthur. This one's the 32nd timeout. So 12 points for Carl-Shawn Young, all coming from behind the arc. 10 points for Deshaun Denson. 13 points for Roy Henderson already.
And you're not going to find too many teams in 5A that have those type of shooters. And those aren't just their best shooters, they're their best offensive players or scorers. And they often will have it going at the same time. When they do, it's really hard to stop Midwest City. I mean, that's a dynamic trio. And, again, at home especially, when they all three have it going, tough to beat.
Well, out of the 37 points on the scoreboard, 36 of the points have come from those three players. The only other point was a free throw by Mark Jackson.
So the challenge is you want to see Mark Jackson or Brian Williams or McKenzie when he's in, or Jarvis Nash find a way to get involved in the scoring as well.
18-point lead for Midwest City. They have the ball.
Or Caleb Stevens, who's in right now.
Brian Williams when he's in there. Inbound play on the baseline for Midwest City. Lob out top to Henderson. He finds Denson in the corner. Denson drives around the defender, pulls up in the paint.
Nice pass.
And we're going to have a foul on the floor as it was Caleb Stevens taking the pass. He was too far under the basket when he pulled up. He got run over by his defender.
Denson was just looking and looking and looking at the basket, looking to score. But he kept his vision going and saw Stevens cut towards the basket at the right time. Made a good pass.
Another inbound play on the baseline. Henderson inbounding the ball. Stevens cutting outside. Young takes the pass out top. And now Henderson comes out and sets up the offense. Pulls up just inside the arc. A long two.
Yeah, I would tell him, make that a three if you're going to do that.
15 points for Henderson now. Macarthur pushing the ball up the court. It's a 20-point lead for Midwest City. Block shot, and what a putback. That is A.J. Vaughn battling in there under the basket. Gets a shot blocked right back into his own hands when he comes down, and he goes right back up and draws the foul and goes to the line with 2 points in the bucket.
You know, he didn't do a whole lot against Del City, but A.J. Vaughn, you could see he's got a good body to him. Good athleticism.
Vaughn.
Boy, the free throw shooting for Macarthur.
It's been a problem. Toonie Buys House's free throw no good for Vaughn. Stevens for three from the corner. Boom! Another Bobby Lewis Insurance three.
It's not that he made it. He was at the block and decided to dribble back and step back and shoot that three and make it. That's the type of shot that makes you go, uh-huh.
That's a lot of confidence right now in the home court, right?
A lot of ability, too.
Little trap at half court. Nash comes up with it, gives it to Henderson. Henderson goes up and he dunks another one. Our super subs instant replay. Malone from the baseline hits one from about 10 feet out.
That's a touch Malone can have.
Malone was
get it to rim in, soft touch.
6 points. Young misses the layup. A little bit of contact, no call. Austin off the glass, shot no good. Stevens comes up with it, finds Young under the basket. Young's going to slam it home. Super subs instant replay.
So Roy Henderson has 2 dunks. Carl-Shawn Young 1. And the Bombers are doubling up Macarthur right now.
46-23. Malone off the glass, good for 2.
You know, Malone, he can be such a force. I keep talking about it, but he needs help, and he needs some defensive help too.
Henderson for 3, left wing, in and out. Malone with the rebound. 46-25 the score with 2 minutes to play here in the second period. Interesting little grab by Brian Williams there, and a lot of contact, bodies lying all over the court, and the ball goes way out of bounds. Turnover for Macarthur.
I think that was the PA announcer, Kent, said nice catch, and referring, I believe that's the Midwest City wrestling coach, R.J. Walker. You don't always think wrestlers will have the best hands, but, you know, I should probably give it more credit than that. I actually enjoyed calling some wrestling this last month.
Well, I would sure expect wrestlers to have a strong grip.
Yes, for sure.
2 minutes and 2 seconds left to play in the first half. 46-25 the score. Midwest City on top of Macarthur in this District 5A2 matchup. This second period again brought to you by Casa Juanito in Del City. Denson with the ball in the front court. Defended by Coleman. Taking his time, Henderson on the right wing. Overload away from the ball. Young cutting to the basket. Again. Now Henderson. Henderson, one-hand dunk from the baseline. And one.
And that, by the way, 2 of Henderson's 3 dunks have come from backdoor passes by Deshaun Denson. And these, you don't see in high school that often guards getting dunks in a half-court set. And it's happened twice, and that's an and one. I mean, the offensive skill for Midwest City is in full force right now. And, you know, when you shoot threes well, what's a good thing that can complement good three-point shooters? Backdoor passes and backdoor cuts.
The Toonie Buys Houses free throw by Henderson is good after the foul was called on Garrett Herring. Henderson had 10 points in the first period. He has 10 points here in the second as well. After a couple of misses by Macarthur, Young gets a rebound, and then the ball's stripped away, and a foul called on, I believe, Henderson.
Carl Sean Young's got to be careful. He's upset that a tripping foul wasn't called. He may be right. But when your team's up by 24, you know, you got to just take it at that point. And I don't. It's okay to say something to the ref, but just be careful. It's not too much.
Malone hits the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. So after going 0 for 5 from the line, he finally connects on a free throw. 23-point lead for Midwest City with 1:22 left to play in the first half. Malone hits both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Denson, left wing. Midwest City got the ball down the court in a hurry, and Young pulls up from about 15 feet out, drains the shot, but called for the travel.
Yeah, Coach Noel wants a little bit of info on that because, and you know, Coach Noel, all-state player here at Midwest City 10 years ago, and a Division I guard at Lamar. So one of the things still coaches players on is footwork, especially the guards. So, and especially lefties, because he's a lefty too, like Carl Sean Young. So I don't think he agreed with that call.
Macarthur, Coleman working hard, and now Vaughn takes the three. It's long. Young gets the rebound, fires it to Brian Williams down the court, and Macarthur got back down the court in a hurry. Good transition defense by Macarthur.
Yeah, Brian, once he caught it, didn't take a straight path to the basket. At that point, good, not bad to go up with a floating shot off the backboard, but they still keep the ball. Oh, how did he get open like that?
Henderson finds Brian Williams cutting to the basket. Williams goes up, is fouled from behind. Shot's no good. He's going to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Well, the answer to my question, I didn't see exactly what happened, but you know that Midwest City will have good blob plays, which, of course, stand for baseline out of bounds. And that's not just from Coach Noel's, definitely from his experience in college, but also one of his assistant coaches, Dwayne Bradley, was the head coach here for many years, and he had a good assortment of baseline out of bounds plays at his disposal there.
So the free throws, Brian Williams misses the first. Brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses. Interesting note, that foul was called on T.K. Taylor, who had gone back into the game here at the end of the second half. That is his 4th personal. So one of the starters with 4 fouls already in first half of play for Macarthur. And right down the court, blocked by Henderson, and then he throws the ball away.
Well, he threw it right to Malone, deflected it. Just the size of Malone got to Henderson there.
Coleman drives to the basket, misses the shot. A rebound by Caleb Stevens. Stevens stops, dribbles behind his back at half-court line. Young now dishes down low to Denson, who goes off the glass for 2.
You know, they just have the right guy at the right place at the right time to the Midwest City Bombers, and 52 points against the number 3 team in the district. Impressive.
That's 52 in the first half.
Right.
Backdoor cut, 3 seconds on the clock. Stevens has the ball, lob, and can't get it to Henderson in time. It was so close as Henderson slams the alley-oop in right after the buzzer sounds. 52-27, the score at halftime. The Midwest City Bombers on top of the Macarthur Highlanders. We're going to take a break here at halftime on Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Here we go.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Mid-Dell basketball here at the J. Sutton Field House in Midwest City. At halftime, the Midwest City Bombers lead the Macarthur Highlanders 52-27. And we've got a couple of games we want to talk about. We'll just give some scoring real quick. Leading scoring in the game, Roy Henderson from Midwest City has 20 points, followed by 14 for Carl Shaw Young, 13 for Sean Denson, 3 for Caleb Stevens, and 1 each for Mark Jackson and Brian Williams. Sharp shooting from three-point range tonight and slamming it home 3 times now in the ball game.
Again, all 3 of those guys were lining it up in the first half. Young, Denson, and Henderson. And they played good all-around games, too. They made things happen on defense. They were passing the ball well. When all 3 click, it's going to be hard for any 5A team to beat Midwest City. So just something to really look forward to because they play fast. They play an entertaining brand of basketball. This is kind of an extension of what Coach Noel learned all those years under Coach Bradley as a player first and then as an assistant coach for a couple years.
So an interesting game going on over tonight between Guthrie and El Reno. We're just watching some scores on that one. How's that playing out right now, Jordan?
Guthrie started to pull ahead. Now here's why this is significant. Midwest City in District 2 as the 1 seed will host the 4 seed from the other district. And I don't mean that in the first round game. They'll host the 8 seed in the first round. But if you're thinking, well, who's going to be a tough out in a regional championship? And they have to win their game too, but El Reno looks like they're the 4 seed, but there's a chance they could overtake Guthrie if they were able to win this game. Right now, Guthrie's up by 9 points in the fourth quarter. Guthrie beat El Reno at El Reno by only 3. So El Reno needs to win by 4 or more, so they got some work to do. But that could really shake things up. And if Guthrie holds on and wins, it's going to set up a kind of a chaotic situation where you have these different scenarios for the top 3 teams. That will probably play in El Reno as a 4 seed. But then you got Carl Albert, Crossings, and Guthrie. Carl Albert's going to be a 1 or 2 seed. Guthrie's going to be a 2 or 3 seed. And what's interesting is Crossings could be a 1 seed or they could slide down to 3. They're probably not going to finish second. And it's going to come down to, what we've got here is a steal there by Jarvis Nash who's starting the game. But I want to finish that thought real quick, and that is that Crossings could go from being the top team in the district all this time to being down to 3 if they can't beat Guthrie at Guthrie on Tuesday. So that is a game that will be massive, and it's going to allow a lot of teams to know where they're going as far as districts go.
So a foul called. Macarthur had the ball to begin the second half. A steal by Midwest City. So the possession arrow actually changes, and it will be in favor of Midwest City for the next tie-up. And then at the line is Jarvis Nash, who hits both of his two Toonie Buys Houses free throws to extend the lead just a little bit more for Midwest City here early in the third period. Whistle blows, the official and Brennan Malone having a conversation.
Did they add the points? Or no, they did add the points. So I don't know what, something to do with Brennan Malone, I guess. Well, Jarvis Nash is starting in place of actually Justin Jones. Normally Mason McKenzie would start, but senior night, that's why Justin Jones started. And McKenzie is in foul trouble, so that's why we're seeing
McKenzie carrying 3 fouls.
Yeah, that's why we're seeing Jarvis Nash to start things out.
Now, T.K. Taylor is back in the ball game for Macarthur here to start the second half, and he has 4 fouls. And
like
Keon Brown's going to be called for a foul on the rebound. That'll be his 3rd personal foul.
Kind of going over the back of Jarvis Nash. I could not recognize him at first because of that haircut.
This third period brought to you by Rose State College. Parents, if you want to save money on college, help your students get ahead by earning college credit while they're still in high school. It's called concurrent enrollment. They can earn college credit while they are in high school and get a head start after they graduate. Rose State College makes it easy and very affordable. You can apply today at rose.edu/concurrent. Malone at the free throw line pulls up over the defender, shots a little long, long offensive board, and now loose ball is going to go off of Roy Henderson's heel as he's standing out of bounds. It'll be Macarthur ball on the baseline.
You know, a couple things that Midwest City could afford to work on here. Defensive rebounding, which wasn't bad. It just at times a lot of Macarthur would get good offensive rebounds and they get good position there as Brown scores and is fouled. And then also getting some shooters involved besides the big 3. Brian Williams would be one of them.
Jarvis Nash picks up his 2nd personal foul, 2nd team foul here in the, first team foul here on Midwest City in the second half. Keon Brown shooting the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, and he connects on it. He has 5 points in the ball game now.
And he had a pretty good game against Del City. He was their most used ball handler, we'll say. He handled the ball the most, is how I should put it, and had some good plays. And, you know, he's someone he's got a good physical body to him.
Full zone defense here by Macarthur. Henderson pulls a trigger on a 3. It's long. Denson gets the rebound, gives it to Williams. Williams out top, takes one dribble, right back to Henderson. Out top to Williams. Denson comes up to the high post. Henderson pulls the trigger on another 3. Back iron. Young trying to chase down the rebound. It goes out of bounds. Macarthur basketball.
That's a sign Roy Henderson might be cooling down a bit. He had 2 good looks. I mean, Macarthur's taking, I guess what they're banking on is that the Bombers will start to cool off from three-point range because they're playing a 2-3 zone, which is going to invite three-point shots from Midwest City.
Macarthur gets the ball right down the court. Herring, dish to Malone under the basket, right back to Herring now. Malone couldn't find an opening to get to the basket. He caught the ball right under it. And ball stolen away. Nash gets his hand in there. He's going right to the hole and is fouled on the shot.
Now Jarvis Nash is making the most of his playing time. By the way, El Reno has taken the lead against Guthrie.
Wow.
3 minutes to go. Now, again, they have to win by 3 or more to have a tiebreaker against Guthrie, which could matter if Guthrie was to lose Tuesday to Crossix. And why are we even talking about this? Well, who's Midwest City going to host in regionals? Who's going to be the 4 seed to their 1 seed? And El Reno's been that team for a while, but that doesn't mean that's how it's going to end. It could be Guthrie coming here.
So Nash misses on the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Second one coming up. 3 team fouls early in the third period on Macarthur. Notice that Midwest City has not called a timeout yet in the ball game.
Nope, they've been in control.
Nash hits the second of the 2 free throws. He has 3 points, all from the line. Herring out top of the ball. Williams on D. Herring gives it down low to Anthony Thomas, and he pulls up for the baseline jumper.
I like the way Herring looks at the court, uses his vision there.
Henderson going to the hole, gets the and 1.
So Henderson, he missed a couple good threes, but he can also finish around the basket as we saw with his dunks, but also he can absorb contact and finish, just like Denson can in his own way, and definitely Carl-Shion Young. So they're not just three-point shooters.
Roy Henderson, he connects on the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. Toonie Buys Houses in any condition. If you know someone who needs to sell a home for any reason, call Toonie Buys Houses, 405-931-3046. Herring. Thomas in the corner kicks it back out. It was Thomas who got down the court and actually was called for the foul on Henderson after hitting that bucket. Herring for three from the corner. Off the glass. Just kisses the glass high and drops it in.
Don't let the fact it went backboard fool you. Herring can shoot.
And that is a Bobby Lewis Insurance three that Herring hit from the corner. Now another three. Boom. Alton Thomas drains one. A Bobby Lewis Insurance three. Bobby Lewis Insurance. Great rates. 2 locations, Choctaw and Del City. You can reach him in Del City at 405-670-3665.
Now we got a timeout. Takes a 6-0 run from Macarthur, but Coach Noel decides it's time to give his team a breather and talk to them. It's going to be a full timeout. So let's take a quick break right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Mid-Del basketball. This is Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray at the J. Sutton Fieldhouse, Midwest City High School, where the Midwest City Bombers lead the Macarthur Highlanders 58-38. That lead was significantly larger. At 6-point run off some 3-point shots here by Macarthur has dropped the lead down to 20 with 4.5 minutes to play in the third period. It's Midwest City basketball as we come out of the timeout. Third period brought to you by Rose State College.
Coming out of a timeout, Midwest City, Coach Noah's a little disappointed with how he's been playing. Do they run some type of set play against the zone?
Midwest City with only 1 field goal so far in the third period. Connected on 4 free throws. Young, fall away jumper, shot no good. Rebound by Herring. Herring got himself in a little bit of trouble, and that is a tough foul call right there because Herring initiated the contact. Defenders moving away from him.
Yeah, right. He still got rid of the ball. I mean, I've actually been liking Herring as a passer this game, or this half at least.
Who did he call the foul on?
I think it was on Denson.
Denson, that would be, I believe, his second personal foul. 2 team fouls. There's a takeaway by Midwest City. Young going up, fouled by Malone.
Well, sometimes Carl-Shion Young, so talented, he'll take some tough shots that he can make, but I don't know if Coach Noel always likes them, but he does defend, and so he's guarding the biggest guy from Macarthur, Malone, and he's able to knock the ball away. Once he saw it was a steal, he outran Malone and was able to draw a foul on Malone by doing that. You'll see also Carl-Shion Young, when he's at the free throw line, even if he has no teammates along the line, he'll still extend both his right and left hand as if someone's going to give him a high five. You people are very tight about their free throw routines.
Got to go through those motions, keep that routine up, absolutely. Carl-Shion Young hits both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Extends the lead back to 22, and a quick foul on Roy Henderson.
And Roy should not argue. Roy got both hands on, I think that's number 22 for Macarthur. That's Anthony Thomas. That is a foul.
Now, interesting note, that foul that was called a minute ago on Malone was the 5th team foul on Macarthur. So with 4 minutes left to play in the third, Midwest City, 2 free throws on every Macarthur foul now. Ball batted around. Malone comes up with it off the glass, puts it in for 2.
It's a good job of following his shot. I didn't think he was going to be able to get that after he missed it, but he just timed it well, and that's the type of play that he makes that makes you think, boy, he needs the ball more often.
Williams back to Young. Henderson, boy, he took off as he caught that ball. And there is a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 by Deshaun Denson. He has 3 threes in the ball game. Denson going for the takeaway, comes up a little short. Herring passing the ball down low to Alton Thomas. Now across the court to Anthony Thomas, who misses on the 3. Young gets the rebound, pushing the ball up the court. It's a 2-on-3 fast break. Young dishes it to Williams, but Young is called for the offensive foul.
Didn't see if Thomas was set, but he probably was.
4 team fouls now on Midwest City here in the third period.
I wouldn't mind that aggressive play, though, by Carlson Young. He's trying to get to the basket, not be too finesse.
And looking for his teammate in the process. Yeah. Ball tipped away from behind by Brian Williams, goes out of bounds. It'll be Macarthur basketball in front of their bench.
You know, I complimented Macarthur on how they were able to beat the pressure a lot of times. But the thing is, if you're good at pressuring, you keep doing it. And even if a team's successful at it at first, at some point you might wear them out. And Midwest City's getting really close to getting some steals here and forcing some turnovers.
Forcing some dangerous passes. Well, Malone puts a shoulder into Denson, knocks him down, and goes up and makes the bucket. No call on the play.
Clearly Denson was trying to draw that charge. I think that's a good no call.
Denson sets up the offense for Midwest City now. 63-42 the score, 21-point lead. Henderson pulls the trigger on a 3. Boom! It's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. Roy Henderson with 26 points in the ball game. We're in the third period.
You know what's great about that? He's a senior, and I'm definitely going to look to talk to him after the game. Hopefully we'll get Justin Jones and Brian Williams as well.
Herring working the ball, looking for his teammate, finds him, pass inside, stolen away by Brian Williams. Williams gives it to Denson. Denson pushing the ball up the court, finds Henderson on the baseline, kicks it back out. Nash for 3. Boom! It's another Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. Jarvis Nash. It's his first field goal of the game. He has 6 points. 3 from the line, 3 from downtown.
Boy, can they light it up. I mean, it's not just those 3 like we were wondering about earlier.
Malone getting a couple of offensive boards all over the back of Nash in there. They finally call it on the 3rd attempt. And Malone picks up his second personal foul, but that is going to be 2 free throws on the rebound.
And that's that most refs are getting that motion. Yeah, now you don't get free throws off an offensive foul, but if you're trying to get an offensive rebound and commit a foul, that will lead to free throws.
Yeah, it's considered a free ball at that point, no possession. So
Guthrie they've had some lead changes in their game against El Reno. Guthrie now leads by 2 with 38 seconds to go.
What an exciting basketball game. Reminds me of that close one we got to do last night.
Yes, it does.
It's played out different. This one's been close for a while.
This is a higher score. Our game was really low scoring. There was some ugly offense in that game last night, but it was still a lot of fun. But and it's worth talking about if this score holds, then you can pretty much count on El Reno coming here and playing in the first round against maybe Guyman, and I think they would definitely beat Guyman. Or not Guyman, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the girls' side. Yeah, it would be Guyman. They're currently in the 5th spot. We'll see if that stays. But I would definitely favor El Reno in that game. They're a really good 4 seed. I think they're better than the 4 seed over on the 2 side.
What a nice dish from from Anthony Thomas to Brennan Malone. Malone tries to lay down a hard dunk. The ball kind of comes out, but it falls back in the hole. Nash kicks the ball back out to Henderson. Henderson skip pass back to Nash on the left wing. McKenzie back in the ball game now. Nash pulls the trigger on another 3, front of the rim. Shot no good. Henderson chases down the long rebound. He's got good handles. Back over his head. And Denson for 3. Good hustle by Nash trying to get the rebound, but it goes out of bounds off his hands. Macarthur basketball.
By the way, when I say 2, I mean the 5A2. So anyway, I really like the possibility of a regional matchup in 2 weeks. Regional championship. That means both teams win their first game. Midwest City and El Reno right here. And that's what's looking like at the moment. Still some basketball to play out, but that's what's looking like at the moment. And that would be an interesting match because El Reno, they already beat Crossings at Crossings. They can almost beat Guthrie. They're a buzzsaw, potentially.
Yeah, and they're sitting in the 4th spot in the district right now.
Yeah. Well,
there's some quality basketball teams.
And they haven't seen a team like Midwest City either. And, again, both teams have to win their first-round game, which they'll be, if they were betting odds, they'd be heavily favored to do.
So Malone at the line shooting 2. Foul called on Midwest City. I didn't catch who that foul was called on.
No, but I'll say this. Brendan Malone, he never disappoints.
DeMario Jones checks in the ball game for Midwest City.
I mean, you're talking about 2 really good defensive teams in Del City and Midwest City. Granted, Midwest City's not the best post-defensive team, but still, those are the teams I've seen Brendan Malone plays against, and he impresses every time.
Well, his challenge, and there's a Caleb Stevens drops the 3, the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3.
Maybe we're about to say Malone is not getting a lot of help. That's part of his challenge.
Well, and he's 2 for 9 from the free throw line tonight.
Oh,
he's really struggling at the line.
That's the disappointment part, because you want to give him the ball. Anytime you want to feed the guy ball a lot, you need him to shoot free throws pretty well.
Nice dish from Herring, and then a travel called on Anthony Thomas in the paint.
Thomas looked like he wasn't sure. He was very unsure of himself in the high post there. You need to be confident and comfortable when you have the ball there in that spot, because that's a spot where against a zone you can do some damage.
Well, he almost looked like if I at 5'8", caught the ball in the paint, I'd be wondering what giants are behind me, and he didn't know where to go, and there was nobody behind him,
Well, he has to realize Midwest City does not have giants. They're a smaller team.
10 seconds on the clock.
It's not the size, it's the speed of Midwest City that may have had him intimidated.
And the 3 is short. The shot by Mark Jackson, a heave at the buzzers, no good. After 3 periods of play, it's Midwest City up by 29. 73-44 is the score. We're going to take a break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Middale basketball. This is Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray at J.E. Sutton Fieldhouse, Midwest City High School, where the Midwest City Bombers lead the Macarthur Highlanders 73-44 in this District 5A2 matchup. The 4th period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings, support your favorite Middale winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone, show your waiter, and your team will get 10% of the proceeds. I was there just a couple of days ago. Got the Jammin' Jalapeno wings, man. Those were really good.
I was there a couple days ago. I don't know how literal you were being. We were there Wednesday night doing a Carl Albers show. And next time we go on, Mason McKenzie scores there. We'll do a Del City show. But that's not going to be this coming Wednesday, Tracy, and you know why, right? Because
it is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so there'll be no show at Buffalo Wild Wings for that reason. Nice move.
Nice move.
Coleman, I think. He's a lefty. Yeah, it's Taylor.
TK Taylor.
Taylor and Coleman kind of look very similar from a distance, but so that's a righty who made a good lefty shot, and they just aren't consistent enough to keep up with a team like Midwest City when it comes to being aggressive and being able to score.
That's Taylor's first bucket since the first period. Of course, he spent a lot of time on the bench with foul trouble too. He hits the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. Carl Young bringing the ball up the court, defended by Xavier Alcedo.
Bit different strategy for Midwest City. They're not playing their seniors. Oh, that would have been quite the finish.
Young was looking to posterize Alcedo there, and he misses the dunk.
Alcedo didn't play a whole lot against Del City, getting some run right here.
Young looked like he may have been a little upset about a potential foul or something, but I didn't think there was a lot of contact there. Just kind of thought the ball come off his hand early.
I think sometimes you miss a dunk, you feel like falling down subconsciously. You got to sell it or something.
Nice move in the paint as Adam Austin catches the ball down low, misses a shot but draws the foul.
So we're seeing that Coach Noel, different strategy for this fourth quarter of senior night than Coach Malloy, who played her seniors almost 7 minutes worth of 8. Right now the seniors for Midwest City are resting. Wonderful. We'll definitely see Justin Jones at some point. We'll wonder if Roy and Brian will come back in.
Adam Austin hits the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throw, second one coming here.
Of course, both teams are locked into their seeds. Midwest City will be a 1 seed. That's regardless of what happened tonight. Macarthur a 3 seed regardless of what happens.
Nice drive by Stevens, misses the shot. Rebound by Keon Brown, and then Stevens in there still battling. The ball comes off his foot, goes out of bounds. It's Macarthur basketball. I was just trying to figure up and just thinking about it. My wife and I are about to spend, let's see, our 41st Valentine's Day together.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of Valentine's Days.
So with that comes how many years of marriage?
We are at 37 years of marriage. We started dating our sophomore year of high school. Brown driving in, kicks the ball out. Coleman now underneath, and he finds Adam Austin, who gets another bucket to his credit. He has 5 points in the ball game.
So now we got Brian Williams back in with the ball. Not really the conventional point guard, but handling it there.
Some good defense by Coleman and Brown. Williams finally comes up with a scramble for the ball. Henderson gets called for the travel. I think he put the ball on the floor before he stepped, but maybe not.
Yeah, normally I don't know if you want Brian Williams to bring the ball up. Not that he's not good at it, but that's not really his thing. He did a good job, though, recovering the ball after it got knocked away from him.
Brown still in the backcourt, taking his time. Finally crosses the timeline. Williams on D. Ball stolen away by Young. Young's got one defender in front of him, and the foul's going to be called. And he's
definitely on the floor.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, was he counting the bucket or was he pointing at the floor? And he's pointing at the baseline to inbound the ball.
Every time I watch Carl Sean Young, sometimes his offense isn't always there. Oh, he's about to get a lob there, and then he throws it against the backboard.
The inbound pass, a lob for Young, hits the backboard structure, and that is out of bounds.
Roy Henderson, you can laugh when you do that up 25.
Exactly.
What I was going to say about Carl Sean Young, his defense is always really solid.
A.J. Vaughn makes a move into the paint, right to the hole, misses the shot. Rebound, Mark Jackson. He pushes it to Henderson. Henderson's going to the hole, lays it off the glass, misses the layup. Got a little bit fancy at the layup instead of just going strong and drawing some contact. Another shot missed by Macarthur. Young gets the rebound. He's fouled.
When you want to work on your left hand if you're Roy Henderson, he can finish it in a variety of ways, but you want to. I'm a big believer in this fundamental that I don't hear a lot talked about in basketball. If you go to your left, you're on the left side. If you have the layup, finish with your left hand. You need to use that left hand early and often so you can be comfortable with it in key situations.
It's just a fundamental thing, right?
Yes. And again, young players, they want to use their strong hand no matter what side they're on.
Williams with the ball, kicks it back to McKenzie. McKenzie pulls the trigger on a three. Wow. Boom, another Bobby Lewis insurance three. Does everybody hit threes?
Yes.
The answer might be yes.
You should watch them in practice. I'll tell you that.
78-50 the score with 5 minutes to play.
And Mason McKenzie, he's their inside player, quote unquote.
Brown catches the pass, high off the glass, good for two.
23 with the basket.
Now Henderson dribbling between his legs, top of the key, in the paint, kicks it to Young in the corner. Young and Henderson, I think, are just having fun right now. Young pulls the trigger on a three. Boom! Another Bobby Lewis insurance three. That one by Carl Sean Young.
They also might know, we're going to see that Super Subs instant replay. They also know they might be coming out here in a moment, as we're going to see at least three subs for Midwest City.
And there's a three by Brown. Bobby Lewis Insurance, our three-point sponsor. You can reach Bobby Lewis Insurance at Del City at 405-670-3665. Brown with the rebound for Macarthur. 81-55 the score. Midwest City on top. Bobby Lewis Insurance didn't get a lot of mentions during the girls' game, but he's got a lot of them in this one.
It's kind of made up for here.
Anthony Thomas with the bucket.
Good pass from Carl Shunyo. Mason McKenzie would have had a layup if he caught it. Caught it cleanly anyway.
81-57 the score. Midwest City on top. Coleman goes right to the hole, and he lays that one off the glass. Justin
MacArthur,
Jones and a few other players coming in for Midwest City, it looks like. Timeout called, and I believe we're going to have a wholesale substitution here.
We're hearing 30-second timeout. We see it on the clock, but MacArthur has players sitting down. I guess those players are getting subbed out. Because the rule is if it's 30 seconds, the players that are in the game cannot sit down.
Rule of thumb, not a basketball rule, but yeah.
Well, I thought it was a basketball rule. That 30-second timeout, the players in the game cannot sit down. Yes.
I did not realize that. Well, I learned something new tonight. How about that?
But Midwest City was going to make subs as well, and so they're going to keep Mason McKenzie in as one of their rotation players and one of their normal starters. And they're going to bring in some new guys. Mark Jackson's going to continue to play some. He's one of the rotation players, and Justin Jones will get to, looks like, finish the game as he's one of the three seniors that were recognized earlier tonight.
Brandon Dixon in the game now.
Is Mark Jackson, if he's running point, he's a guy that will play crunch time minutes for Midwest City potentially in closer games. So
DeMario Jones bringing the ball up the court, 3:40 to play. Jones gives it to Jackson now. Little weave out here on the side. Now Jones takes his time, picks up his dribble and gets in a little bit of trouble. Passes off to McKenzie. McKenzie takes a little jab step, pulls up the free throw line, gets called for the travel. A lot of travels called in the game tonight.
3:22 left in the game.
3:22 left in the game. 22-point lead for Midwest City. 81-29 the score.
Brennan Malone back in. Against this lineup, he can do some damage, but I say that, but McKenzie, again, he defends so well for his size against inside players.
And Brown with the basketball now out top. And a three from the corner, a little short. Ball batted up in the air. It's going to stay with MacArthur.
So
looks like Guthrie held on to win that other game, 67-61.
So we will see. I'm pretty sure El Reno will be here for the regional.
Inbound play coming from MacArthur. Lob in the middle. Malone back in the ball game now. He puts it in for two.
Basket is good.
Now I might be wondering, well, what about Lon MacArthur? The score looks like it's tied. It's not tied on the scoreboard. It just looks like it's 61-61.
81-61 the score. Yes. Midwest City on top. Jones gives the ball to, that is Brandon Dixon, who drains the three from the corner. Bobby Lewis Insurance three.
They can all do it. What I was going to say about Lod MacArthur, they're going to go on the road, but we don't know where. It could be Carl Albert, and it could be Guthrie. And they played Guthrie at Carl Albert last year, and that's how their season ended. It was an 8-9 matchup.
17 threes hit in this game by Midwest City by 7 different players.
That's not bad.
Basket is good. It's number 21, Adam Austin.
Austin hits the basket. He's going to the line to shoot a Toonie Bice Houses free throw.
It was like Mark Jackson fouled out because he immediately started going to the bench and untucked his jersey, and they're going to bring in a sub for him, and Caleb Stevens.
Jackson had a lot of fouls in the fourth period.
Yes.
And the 4 fouls on Midwest City here in the fourth period.
Adam Austin puts it in.
Adam Austin bucket and the free throw. Toonie Bice-House's free throw. He has 8 points in the fourth period. He's come in and played well. 10 points on the game.
For people that don't know what I'm talking about, because you're not going to see it on our scoreboard, but when they have Midwest City at 84 points, it looks like 64 here in the building because the digital 8 there just doesn't show all the way. Another travel.
Jones pulls the trigger on a 3 after the whistle blows.
2:11 left in the ballgame.
So, player of the game, you know, we couldn't decide a senior in the girls' game. But I think in this case there's an obvious senior here, and that's Roy Henderson.
Absolutely. Yeah, 26 points and played very well. Malone down low, posting up, backside, puts it in for 2.
Yep, they got no one that can guard him. If McKenzie wants to guard him, he has to guard him a little more physically than that. And, you know, at this stage in the game, I understand why he wouldn't.
Jones for 3, misses the shot. Brown gets the rebound, poked away. Going right to the hole again, number 21, Adam Austin. He has 12 points in the ball game. Now Malone has 20. 84-68 the score. It's a 16-point game. A minute 25 left. McKenzie drains a 3. That's another Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. Bobby Lewis Insurance. You can reach him in Choctaw at 405-281-6700. Minute 14 left to play, and wow, backcourt violation.
You don't see that every day.
Brown was not fully in the front court yet when he caught that pass, and the presence had already been established in the front court with the ball. So 87-68 the score with a minute 12 to play. Midwest City on top of Macarthur.
I would like to see Justin Jones get a turnover there, maybe. Justin Jones get a couple looks. See if they can get the ball to him.
Mario Jones with the ball. Bounces out. Justin Jones in the corner. Jab step. A lot of contact. He sold the foul well. It's on the floor.
Justin Jones fouled on the play.
Oh, he wants free throws. You know, I feel bad he missed his 2 free throws early in the game. But
he has no points thus far, right?
And he wants free throws there, but unfortunately they just didn't call a lot of fouls in Macarthur this quarter.
Malone gets a steal on the inbound play. He's headed the other way, behind his back, in traffic, dribbles off the leg of the defender. Now finds number 21, again, Adam Austin, who has, 12 points in the fourth period, 14 points in the game. Brandon Dixon misses the 3, has it blocked, and a foul is going to be called on Justin Jones. That'll be 2 free throws coming up for Macarthur. That's Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Yeah, 17 points, it's not a huge blowout, but this was never really a close game. And once at some point in the second quarter, you could tell it was not going to be a lot of Macarthur's night. But, that's a good point total for him. And, that's kind of the pace Midwest City can play at. You can play high-scoring games against them.
Free throws by Javal Coleman. He hits the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, has one more coming.
But can you outscore Midwest City in those games? And that's going to be the question.
Well, when they're hot, and the scoring for Midwest City slowed down when they had a big lead and didn't need to score as much. Yeah. But in a contested game when they're hot and they just keep that momentum going, you got to think that they're just going to keep that scoring going. Brandon Dixon now dishes off. Justin Jones going to the hole, goes up. He's fouled, going to the line to shoot 2.
He's going to get his trip to the line here.
Chance to put some points on the board.
Good pump fake against Malone. And Malone needs to know not so much about this particular situation with Jones, being a senior on senior night, but more like any player that's a foot shorter than you, you don't need to jump and bite on a pump fake like that.
No, just swat the ball. Once they jump, you can still reach.
But Malone's a sophomore, so.
Justin Jones gets the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Malone had a really silly foul against Del City that really hurt their effort in that game. But I think once he learns and fills out his body more, he will be a even more dynamic player than he is.
Jones hits both free throws, 17-point lead again. 20 seconds left. Coleman just double dribbled. They got the call.
I'm still thinking about if anyone was just walking in here at this time, they would look at the scoreboard and see Midwest City losing 72-69.
Well, see, actually, from my angle, I don't see the faded number from my angle at all. So it just depends on where you're at in the gym. And
we are sitting somewhat close together, but not close enough, I guess. All right, on my way down.
All right, that is the ball game, folks. 89-72, the final. Midwest City defeats Lawton MacArthur tonight in this District 5A2 matchup. Jordan Ray going down to meet with Coach Tori Noel and a player of the game, going to be senior Roy Henderson tonight, who turned in a 26-point performance in 3 periods. Had 10 points in the first period, 10 points in the second period, 6 in the third before he finally took a seat and let some other guys play. Phenomenal basketball player. For player of the game, sponsored by the Eastside Church of Christ. Eastside Church of Christ in Midwest City believes in loving Jesus by loving our neighbors. And I say our, folks, because I am one of the ministers of the Eastside Church of Christ over there at 916 South Douglas. And we invite you to come out, join us for Sunday worship. Our Bible class starts at 9, our worship at 10. We have a midweek Bible study at 7 p.m. We do stream on YouTube. You can find the information at eastsidechurchofchrist.org. The Eastside Church of Christ, folks, we do provide a lot of services to the community, try to help the folks out. We've got a community baby shower coming up on March 9th for expectant parents and those families with children 1 to 3, Eastside Church of Christ. And so we are about to go down to Jordan Ray, who is with some of our seniors from Midwest City, and Coach Tori Noel. So, Jordan, you've got it.
All right, Coach Noel, what can you say about your team's three-point shooting?
Amazing, man. I don't like how many we shoot sometimes, but they shoot it with confidence. You know what I mean? We shoot at a high level, but it's the things we work on every day. We get a lot of shots every day, so it pays off for us.
You already have the 1 seed wrapped up, as we talked about. What was important? What you like that you saw your guys continue to do well in this game besides the shooting?
Defensive effort. We still got to bring it all 4 quarters, but I think we did a good job early in the first half to defend it and apply the pressure.
Okay, so El Reno lost, so you're going to maybe prepare for El Reno to come here in a couple weeks. They lost to Guthrie.
Oh.
Okay, so anyway, what's going to be important for this team, no matter who they play against, to really make a playoff run?
Reno, they're a scary team, man. They run their offensive sets. They're really disciplined. We got to be disciplined defensively and execute defensive plan.
All right, Coach, congratulations on being district champs and continuing to be undefeated in district.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, we're going to start with our first senior, our player of the game, Roy Henderson. Roy, what does it feel like to get a dunk in the half court out like that? And you did it twice off of backdoor plays.
Just the crowd, energizing the crowd. My teammates feeding off the dunk. We playing defense.
Being a senior, I mean, and you got off to a great start. Were you feeling it this game? Did you know beforehand you're gonna have it going?
Yes, sir. I was really trying to break the record, but at the end of the day, we got to win and just win. So.
Last year you guys were the lowest seed, and this year you guys are gonna be the highest seed. And what does that mean to you?
Man, it means the world. Like we coming to win it all. Coming from a losing streak to a win streak, we come to win it all.
All right, well, Roy, congratulations for you. This is, of course, not your last home game, but enjoy your senior night.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next up we got Justin. Justin, of course, you've been with this program the whole time. What's it been like seeing Coach Noel come back and seeing how what he's done with this program?
It's great, man. He definitely added more of the discipline and conditioning we needed, and that got us right, man. So now we just playing defense 4 quarters straight. We ready, and we want all smoke. So, yeah.
Well, what makes you feel good about this team heading to the playoffs?
Again, our defense and being in shape to compete and defend at a high level. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we got to do.
Okay, Justin, congratulations on senior night being recognized, and best of luck to you in the playoffs.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, last one, Brian Williams. Brian, I mean, you were a key member on a team that made state 2 years ago, and then you took a little bit of a break from basketball, now you're back. But how does this team compare? Do you feel even better about this team maybe going all the way?
Yes, sir, I do. I mean, the team chemistry is there. Everything is there. We work hard in practice, work hard everywhere. I mean, I feel very comfortable saying this team could win state.
And that's been pointed out before, but, I mean, baseball is your future. You got a great opportunity at Dallas Baptist. Talk about how rewarding it's been coming back and playing basketball, organized basketball one last time.
It's been good, especially playing under my coach Tori. I mean, great coach. I knew him since my first year here, but it's been fun. Like, everything about it just been fun.
All right, well, congratulations to you as well, and best of luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, Tracy.
And folks, that's a wrap. 89-72, the final score. Midwest City defeats Lawton Macarthur tonight here at Midwest City in District 5A2 play. It was a girls' victory as well. The final score in that girls' game was 54-30. The Lady Bombers got the win over the Lady Highlanders. Just to wrap up some scoring here for you in this boys' game. For Lawton Macarthur, leading scorer was Brennan Malone with 20 points. 14 points for Adam Austin, 10 for Keon Brown, 8 for TK Taylor, 5 each for Javal Coleman and Alton Thomas, 4 for A.J. Vaughn, and 3 for Garrett Herring. On the Midwest City boys side, the player of the game was Roy Henderson with 26 points in 3 periods. And then he stepped out of the game and let some of the other guys come in and have some playing time. 19 points, for Carl Sean Young, 16 for Deshaun Denson. It was 8 points for Mason McKenzie, 7 for Jarvis Nash, 6 for Caleb Stevens, 3 points for Brandon Dixon, 2 for Justin Jones, and 1 each for Mark Jackson and Brian Williams. 89-72 the final score in that one, and the Midwest City boys are still undefeated in District 5A2 play with one more district game to go, right?
Now against Southeast. Southeast boys, they are 7th in the district, but, they could pose a challenge. That's a team that made state 2 years in a row. Now they've had a lot of departures after that, but they're still a team that can really challenge you, especially when they're at home. And the thing for Midwest City is, as much as you like to go undefeated, if anyone's even a little banged up, you might see them rest in that game because their seeding is guaranteed. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Again, all the action is going to be in 5A1, but on the girls' side as well, will be Carl Albert or Shawnee with a 2 seed. That's going to come down to the Shawnee-El Reno game more than likely, and then it could be Crossings finishing 1st or 3rd. It could be Carl Albert finishing 2nd or 1st. It could be Guthrie finishing 3rd or 2nd. This is just crazy. So all eyes should be for that on the Guthrie Crossings game. And Crossings should have a lot to prove after that had to be demoralizing loss last night. And they're not now that it's a possibility of them not hosting after being on top of the district all this time. And they're still on top of the district technically anyway. But that possibility, that should give them some amazing incentive in that game. So, and by the way, we can monitor those games now. What we believe we'll have for you on the Oklahoma Sports Network, I'm not totally sure about this, but the Altus crew is expected to come to Carl, at least that's what I was told last time I asked them, and do that game. They didn't go to Shawnee tonight, and there may be reasons for that. Shawnee's obviously a really far trip for Altus. Midwest City's not that close either, but they did tell me they're going to go to Carl Albert. So you'll find out on social media if that game is definitely happening. If it does, we will try to make sure we put a spotlight when we can on the Carl Albert seniors and update you on their important games going on for both the girls and boys teams. And even though the Altus broadcasting crew will be the ones handling that, so just keep your eyes open for that. See if we get that game on. But either way, when the playoffs start, we're going to cover as much as we can for all 3 Middale schools and all 6 Middale varsity teams.
Yeah, and if any of our Macarthur fans are still with us listening right now, the girls struggled a little bit tonight, but they were missing some key pieces out of their starting lineup. So as they move into the playoffs, they hope to have some of those back. And so though they may have struggled tonight, you might see some significantly better performance from them come playoff time. Again, 89-72, the final in the boys' game. 54-30, the final in the girls' game. Midwest City getting 2 victories tonight. We need to thank all of our sponsors that made this happen. Our starting lineup sponsor, Dynamic Health. Our free throw sponsor, Tooney Buys Houses. Bobby Lewis Insurance, our 3-point sponsor. Our instant replay, sponsored by Super Subs. Our quarter sponsors, Buffalo Wild Wings, Casa Juanito, and Rose State College. And our player of the game sponsor, the Eastside Church of Christ. folks, couldn't do it without them. So if you are have the opportunity, if you're looking for a good sandwich, you go to Super Subs. You know, if you're looking for a good Mexican meal, go to Casa Juanito. Check out Bobby Lewis Insurance for your insurance needs and so on. So as you hear these sponsors, they're doing this for a reason. Let them know you appreciate them making these streams available to you by giving them your patronage. So thank you for listening, too. You're the reason that we are here, so that we can bring you the enjoyment and the excitement of some high school basketball. This has been an absolute blast tonight covering these games, and we got a whole lot of playoff games coming up in the near future.
Yep. It'll start Tuesday, February 20th, girls' first round, and then the boys' first round will be Thursday, February 22nd. Very a little different than what they normally do. So they're expanding the regionals, so instead of it being Thursday, Friday for the first rounds, it will be Tuesday, Thursday, and then the regional championships on Friday. And then even if there's consolation games to cover, we will on Saturday.
More games, right?
More games.
That means more referees. That means more opportunities for people to drive and eat out and all those wonderful things. Yeah, basketball is a blast, though, folks. And when the weather is still around, it gives you something to do indoors. So it's a lot of fun. And these playoff games, the atmosphere is phenomenal. If you haven't experienced it in a while, get out and go watch your favorite team in a gymnasium somewhere. Though we do appreciate you watching the stream as well. So I think wrap it up.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Real quick, thanks to Matt, our producer, Bernie, our camera operator. Last night, Ileana Berryhill, our camera operator, Carl Alberts. So we appreciate the students helping us out as well.
Absolutely. And, folks, thank you for watching Middale Basketball here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.